Who is this? Okay, who is this person who requested for recording?
So Oshin, my name is Oshin.
Okay, you're also a student, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. All right, so Oshin, I think since you are there, Akshat, you have. Are you holding your mobile camera for by any chance?
Yes,
हाँ,
mobile camera.
आपका thumbs up वाला thumb बीच में आ रहा था. अभी ठीक है. Now I can see your face clearly. All right, so it's Oshin, right? OSHIN.
OSHEEN.
All right, double E hai. Okay, Oshin. All right, so Oshin, can you read this for the class?
Yeah.
Importance of shipping, right?
Yes, sir. Importance of shipping. It has been said that without shipping, 50% of the world will starve, 50% would freeze, 50% would be ill, and 50% would be bankrupt.
Correct.
Have you ever stopped to think just how many items you use on daily basis? Thanks to the maritime industry. Without the maritime industry, we might be living in a completely different world. Think about it.
All right, so let me use the arrow. Okay. All right. Okay, can you see the arrow on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, so you can see your fresh vegetables there.
Yes.
If you do not have, I'm not talking about only India, because luckily we are living in a country which is mostly self-sufficient. We're not talking about countries in Middle East. We're not talking about countries in Africa who are still deprived of many resources. Okay, so fresh vegetables to get in desert is a near impossible situation. And that's why I first made an arrow towards the vegetable. Agar shipping nahi hoga ya mode of transportation is not there, then transporting vegetables will be difficult, Oshin, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, now I'm making an arrow towards this. Since we are in COVID-19 pandemic question, what do you have to say about medicines? Is it connected with shipping anyway?
It definitely is. Transportation of vaccines and a lot of
raw materials
into creation
for
of
the
vaccines.
Raw material for the vaccines.
vaccines as well as other medications. We do
Absolutely.
most of the countries are struggling with it.
Medical equipment and all you can say.
Yes, very good. What about this? Of course, this is not a nano car. It is not a Tata Nano. But ठीक है, हाथ में उठाया है तो छोटा है. All right, what do you have to say about automobiles? If there is no shipping,
It can't be imported, sir.
Can't be imported, can't be exported, correct?
Exported. Exactly.
Suppose you want to import a Ferrari or a Peugeot from Italy, or a Mercedes-Benz from Germany, or a Mitsubishi Lancer from Japan. You can't drive it down from Japan to India, correct? You need some mode of transportation. Do you understand how important shipping is?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Have
sir.
you heard? I'm sure some of you have heard about kiwi fruit. Have you heard about it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah,
इसका
yeah.
origin
sir.
कहाँ पे पता है?
China.
New Zealand.
Sorry.
Kiwi.
Okay, and New Zealand is surrounded by sea. Okay, I know that we have just started the geography, so we have a long way to go as far as mapping where India is, where New Zealand is. So I'm not going to. I mean, I can understand. When I was learning my geography 30 years ago, I was also in the same boat. So, okay, just to give you an idea, so New Zealand is surrounded by sea, and there is no way of road or rail transportation from New Zealand to India. So, kiwi fruits अगर मुझे DMart या mall में चाहिए, तो someone has to transport them, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Even IT related items, even research and development related items, hardware items. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
This
sir.
is only applicable to the vegetarian people, not for non-vegetarians. You agree with me?
No.
Okay, so whoever is a non-veg, okay, seafood requirement. So unless and until you have modes of transportation like water mode of transportation, okay, guys and girls, what I would suggest is you keep on your notebooks next to you, because there
Yes, sir.
are certain terms, because I have to graduate slowly, correct? when we start the car or a two-wheeler, I'm talking about geared car or geared two-wheeler, we go from number 1 to number 3, 2, and then 3 and number 4, right? So we are in number 1 gear now. I would suggest you to write down, because जाने अनजाने में मैं कुछ shipping terms use कर रहा हूँ, which you will be useful to you in understanding the subject better, number 1. And number 2, whatever you're writing in your rough notes, hopefully will be, what should I say, handy to you in the month of January when the temperature is going to be a little higher than today. You agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
So many different items like seafood, like automobiles, hardware items. Okay, now I'm going to put my arrow over here. All right. So
Petroleum. Chemical
petroleum.
gases.
Yes.
Crude oil.
So anyone would like to say about petroleum? Okay. For yes. So first question, of course, to all of you: is crude oil readily available in India?
No.
No.
No, sir.
Correct.
It's
So
imported from Dubai.
5 to 10% we get in India, but the remaining is imported.
okay.
It's available, but very little quantity.
Right. So whatever is available in India, whether inland or in the offshore platforms, it is called as indigenous crude oil. Indigenous means which is related to your own land. Okay. But that is hardly 5 to 10%. Remaining 90% of the crude oil, which is the raw product for producing finished products like gas oil, which is also called as diesel oil. Right? Have you heard the word gasoline before?
Yes.
Okay. Any other name for gasoline?
Petrol.
Petrol. Very good. You go to the petrol pump, right? So gasoline is also called petrol. Chalo. और एक secret बताता हूँ. Any other name for gasoline? Motor spirit. It's called mogas. All right. Okay. Have you heard of jet fuel, which is used in aeroplanes?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Which is also, jet fuel is also called as ATF, and ATF stands for aviation turbine fuel. ATF stands for aviation turbine fuel, which is used in airline industry so that aeroplanes can move. Okay. Now for this oil to get transported, that means the raw product to come from crude oil producing countries towards the nations or regions where petroleum refineries are there, you need mode of transportation, which is shipping, because you need to carry huge amount of oil, right? Have you heard of the names like VLCC and ULCC?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anyone? Okay.
Yes,
Of course, we
Very
will.
good career.
Yeah. VLCC stands for very large crude carrier, and ULCC stands for ultra large crude carriers, right? Of course, we will come to them slowly. Okay. We are in first gear only. So पहले एक first gear में चलते हैं. And of course, in shipping practice and current shipping environment, this will be covered. So you can see there are variety of items which are available, which can be transported, and only when they are transported, they are available to us. You agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Let's clear this and go to the next one. All right. I'll quickly read this. Importance of maritime industry. All of you can see the screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. The maritime industry is an important engine for growth of global economy. Second point is 75%, nearly 75% of the world's trade is carried by ships. Maritime activities are everywhere. That is mechanical, marine, offshore oil supply, commercial fisheries, right? The fishing trawlers, which you can see in Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal, and Indian Ocean. Okay, those are also modes of transportation for carrying seafood or fish. Then the next one is maritime industry has huge importance in terms of natural resources and energy industry. basically you can say the last line is, okay, Roxanne, can you read the last line? Your mic is on mute.
Shall I read?
Yeah, okay. The last line, bringing.
Bringing the world a little closer to you.
Yes. So basically, when we are using or when we are taking the service of water transport, mode of transportation by water, which is shipping. Okay, we are connected, and please understand that we all are in a global profession. You understand what is the meaning of global profession?
Yes.
You can have a supplier based in Japan. You can have a receiver. Okay, let me use the simple words like supplier and receiver. Let's not get into shipper and consignee mode as such. So the supplier and receiver can be based somewhere in Europe, and the middleman can be based in India, and still this can happen. So you can imagine you are connected with east as well as west. That's why we are saying it's a global profession, right? Okay, let's go to the next one. All right. Now I'm going to narrate you one interesting story, because so far what we have seen is why I'm learning shipping. Okay, why I'm studying shipping. Is it necessary to study shipping in little detail? So with that, of course, we will go to the next one. What was the next question we wanted to deal with before the break?
Why we have choose Nartamology?
Why we are in Narottam Morarji? Correct.
Yes, sir.
So I'll tell you a story. Are you okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Would like to
Yes.
okay, all ears?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
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 ठीक है. Okay. So we are talking about 18th century, and we are talking about a ship called Empress of India, and that was basically being used for transporting cargo or commodities. Okay, cargo ko another word is commodities, basically from a place in Canada called Vancouver. Okay, on the west coast of Canada, there is a port called Vancouver, and from Vancouver, the ship used to start and go towards Far East. Have you heard of the word Far East before?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Your Japan, your China, your South Korea, your North Korea, your Philippines, your Singapore, your Hong Kong, everything is called Far East,
Forest.
right? And Far East
Yeah.
is present in a sea called Southeast China Sea or South China Sea. Okay, there is South China Sea and North China Sea. Any reason why there is South China Sea and North China Sea?
No, sir.
Because there has to be an imaginary line which is dividing this south and north. And you know
Equally.
what is the name of that imaginary line?
No, sir.
Okay, so there is an imaginary horizontal line in the center of the earth which is called as equator.
Equator.
नाम सुना है पहले?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Good.
Wow. Okay. See, Irfan is correct. Very enthusiastic class. So we have. आपने तरबूज देखा है कभी?
Yes.
In the classroom, normally I make use of a football, but here, on the on screen, अगर मैं football दिखाऊंगा तो मैं नहीं दिखूंगा आपको. So what I'm saying is, just imagine there is a big watermelon or tarbuj. When you cut it half, you get upper
Equator.
half and lower half, right?
Yes, sir.
Upper
Yes.
half is called northern hemisphere, lower half is called southern
Southern.
hemisphere. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. There are two big oceans in the world. One is Atlantic Ocean, and which is the other one?
Pacific Ocean.
Pacific Ocean.
Wow. Okay. So this ship Empress of India used to start from Canada, and she used to make the journey through Pacific Ocean from Canada towards Far East, like places like Japan and South Korea, or even China for that matter. Okay. And मैं कब की बात कर रहा हूँ? 18th century की. All right. And of course, the cargo or commodity was not only physical cargoes like timber or garments or automobiles. All right, it it was also human beings like you and me. And this human being transportation is also called as passengers, right?
Yes.
Have you heard
Yes,
of
sir.
passenger ships?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure some of you must have gone to Gateway of India.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
छोटे छोटे वाले लॉन्च में एलिफेंटा केव्स जाके आए होंगे.
Yes.
sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
you are aware of the sea passage basically. Correct? हाँ, ये बात अलग है कि the rolling pitching in these smaller boats is much more than the big ships which we were sailing on. But yes, still at least you know what water transportation is all about. So whenever we are talking about the transportation of passengers, it's called as passenger ship, or it's also known as a ferry. FERRY. Okay. You have private buses and you have ST buses. Heard of that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
you have huge, beautiful passenger ships like Titanic, and then you have passenger ferries, right? Which are transiting between Gateway of India and Elephanta Caves. Pretty simple. Difference
Yes, sir.
between passenger
Yes,
ferry.
sir.
Okay, very good. So story of first Swadeshi ship. Okay. 1896, of course, it was continuing, and for almost 20 years, she was doing this run between Canada and Far East through Pacific Ocean. And of course, have you heard of First World War? Because why I'm asking is because history मैंने उतनी अच्छे से पढ़ी नहीं है. First World War
Yes,
सुना है
sir.
सबने?
Yes, sir.
Oh, right. कब चालू हुआ था? Any idea?
1914.
और कब तक चला था?
4 साल 1918.
1918. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So 1914, Germany, with the help of Japan and Italy, started this World War number one. Okay, against anyone and everyone. Correct.
Yes, sir.
And of course, this ship was very much transporting, and everything was going on pretty well. And in 1919, or in fact in 1914, when the onset of First World War happened, you remember we had British Raj that time.
Yeah, British era.
नाम सुना है? अंग्रेजों का राज हुआ करता था.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
How
sir.
many of you have seen the movie Sholay, जिसमें there's a actor called Asrani who says हम अंग्रेज के जमाने के जेलर हैं.
Yes, sir.
सुना है?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
very
sir.
good.
Yeah.
All right. So we had this British British Empire ruling not only Indian subcontinent but many other places uh, which are on the eastern part. And today, have you heard of Commonwealth Games?
Yeah.
Yes,
Sir.
Yes, UK.
चलो ठीक है स्नेहल, we have a long way to go. Maybe next lecture में बताता हूँ Commonwealth क्या होता है. All right. So those who were ruled by Angrez, okay, basically they come on the group of Commonwealth countries. Okay, so basically 1914 it started, and naturally since Britishers were ruling some parts of Far East, including Indian subcontinent, naturally the manpower or the soldiers which were used in the war against Germany were taken from this part of the world. Okay, and naturally when you have war, you're going to have injured soldiers, yes or no?
Yes, yes.
You're going to have
Yes,
injured
sir.
soldiers, you're going to have dead soldiers, right? So you need something to carry these soldiers
Yes.
from one place to another place for medical assistance or medication. So basically, have you heard of a name called Madaros India from Gwalior?
yes, sir.
Okay, so he had purchased this particular ship, Empress of India, and then this particular ship was utilized in World War One as a hospital ship. Okay, and then of course World War One completed, like some of you rightly said, 1918.
1918.
World War One got over, fortunately, and after that, is hospital ship का करना क्या है, right? Of course, we don't have patients anymore. We don't have injured soldiers anymore. So we need to do something about it, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Correct. All right. So basically, 4 gentlemen from India thought of purchasing this ship from Indias that time. Okay. And these 4 gentlemen, of course, were from India. And I'm talking about the year 1919. Okay. Can anyone tell me which year we got independence?
1947.
47.
I know they are difficult questions, but we have to attempt. All right, 1947 we got independence. So 1919 आपके हिसाब से we were independent or under British Raj?
Under British.
So you can imagine if someone else is ruling us, it is not easy to own a ship. Still, four businessmen from India took on them and made all the arrangements. And you can imagine the amount of courage these guys must have had that time. I'm talking about 1919. Okay, we're not talking about 2019 when COVID-19 came. All right, so these guys purchased it, and the ship was then named as SS Loyalty. Okay, loyalty towards my own country, which is India. All right, so name of the ship was SS. Abhi SS क्या होता है? All of you can write down. SS stands for steamship. I'm sure those who are working in shipping today, they are aware of the term called MV and MT, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
MV
Yes, sir.
stands for motor vessel
Motor
and
tanker.
MT stands for motor tanker.
Hmm.
Why the word motor has come is because now these are propelled or equipped with engines. But when we are talking about steamship, the ships used to run on steam, and the product or the fuel which was used for that was coal. Noted? Can we
Yes,
continue?
sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So this ship was purchased. You know how much was? Any guesses? 100 साल पहले इसकी कीमत कितनी होगी?
No idea.
Okay, good. That's a good answer. No idea is the best answer.
No idea, sir.
Yes. I always encourage. अगर मुझे पता नहीं है, so I have no idea is a good answer. It was purchased for a mere 25 lakhs. Of course, 25 lakhs in 100 years ago was a huge, huge amount. 25 lakhs. And as you know, this was an hospital ship, so they had to convert it into a proper ocean-going merchant ship, right? So they spent another 10 lakhs, about 10 lakhs, to make it seaworthy as a merchant ship. Noted?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then this ship was, of course, brought to India. It was in Mumbai. Have you heard of Mumbai port, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay. In Mumbai port, at the moment, there are two docks. Okay, I'm not talking about JNPT container terminal. I'm talking about the old Mumbai port.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard of Mazgaon dock?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes,
So
sir.
there was a dock called Alexandria dock, which is presently called as or known as Indira dock.
Indira
The
Dock.
ship was berthed there. She was alongside there. And then on 5th April 1919, the first Indian ship, and I'm talking about after a huge gap of almost 200 plus years when we were completely under the influence of British Raj, someone made an attempt. So this was the first time on 5th April 1919. This ship started from Mumbai towards London. Okay, it was a long passage, and since it started on 5th of April every year, okay, is celebrated as Indian Maritime Day. Okay, all right. And these four businessmen whom I am talking about, of course, the most important one was Mr. Walchan Hirachan, and one of them, or the second important one there, was Narottam Morarji, Mr. Narottam Morarji. Okay, so जो इंस्टीट्यूट में हम आप पढ़ रहे हो, और जब मैं यहाँ पे आपको शेयर कर रहा हूँ नॉलेज, have you now understood why Narottam Morarji Institute?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to play a video for you guys, and then of course we will break for. We have time. Okay. Let me play the video for you. Just tell me when you can hear and see the video.
Yes, we can, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Enjoy the video and
The year is 1919. A steamliner chugs across the Arabian Sea, cutting the waters towards its faraway destination. It is one among many other ships on their way to different ports across the world. Just another ocean liner. But standing on the decks admiring the vast expanse of the ocean, stood a few visionaries whose decades-old dream had just come true. At a time when India fought against the oppressive colonialism of the British, and the Swaraj and the Swadeshi movement took firm roots in the subcontinent, two Indian businessmen dared to dream and launch India's first Swadeshi passenger and cargo ship. This is their story, the story of SS Loyalty. Humanity's greatest conquest is of the sea. For over 1,000 years, man has braved the rough waters of oceans exploring this earth, forging new trade routes and finding new lands. India has had a storied history of maritime trade, from the trade routes of Indus Valley civilization to Mesopotamia, the navies of the Mauryan and the Ashokan Empire, to the navies of the Marathas and the trade ships of Mughal Emperor Akbar, the Cholan dynasty and Kushan Empire. India was a pioneer in international shipping in ancient times. In the 1600s, the arrival of the British colonists and the aggressive expansion of the British Empire shifted the centers of power to the British East India Company. To control India, they had to control the seas and ports, and this started the downfall of one of the world's most flourishing shipping centers. As with all great conquests, the story of India's maritime trade had come to an end. For the next few centuries, India struggled under the rule of the British Empire. The regime had a monopoly on all trade, including the shipping routes and companies. India's freedom struggle, on the other hand, had just been born, and the flames of liberation were slowly spreading throughout the country. During this time, two Indian businessmen from Bombay by the name of Walchand Harachand Doshi and Narottam Morarji had a radical idea. Ambitious and visionary, Walchand was a thorough businessman. His previous projects included work in the cotton industry, construction and railways, and Narottam Morarji, a textile magnate from Gujarat. Their dream was to resurrect the shipping industry of India. Many of their contemporaries called them wishful dreamers. Little did they know, in less than a decade, they would make the dream come true. The start of the 20th century ushered in India's freedom movement, and the call for independence was loud and deafening. In 1919, Walchand and Morarji came together to start up Scindia Steam Navigation Company, registered on the 27th of March, 1919. Their hope was that post-World War I, there would be great resurgence in shipping, and India could once again be a pioneer in maritime trade. But first, they needed a ship. In 1891, a beautiful ocean liner sailed out of Vancouver called the RMS Empress of India, manufactured by the Naval Construction and Armament Company in England for Canadian Pacific steamships. She was one of 3 ships that would transverse the Trans-Pacific route between Canada and the Far East. The 5,934-ton vessel had a length of 455.6 feet, and her beam was 51.2 feet. The graceful, white-painted clipper-bowed ship had 2 buff-colored funnels, 3 lightweight schooner-type masts, and an average speed of 16 knots. The Empress of India had smooth runs throughout its 30-odd years as an ocean liner. Guests resided in 3 classes, with dinner parties and music shows for the first class. She was a beautiful ship, traveled peacefully in the cold Pacific waters. The time of peace ended soon, when World War I plunged the entire globe into chaos. As armies fought against each other all over Europe, shipping of ammunition and relief material had grown. So had the need for moving hospitals. In 1914, the Empress of India was sold to the Maharaja of Gwalior, who renamed it to SS Loyalty, and she was then converted into a hospital ship for injured Indian troops who fought in the First Great War. The war lasted for another 4 years, with millions dead and even more wounded. The war had taken a brutal toll on the world. In 1919, as the Swadeshi movement by M.K. Gandhi gripped the nation and India boycotted foreign goods, Narottam and Walchand took it up as an opportunity to build on their idea. They bought SS Loyalty from the Maharaja of Gwalior in March of 1919 for a sum of rupees 25 lakhs and spent rupees 10 lakhs to convert it into a passenger ship. A Swadeshi ship at last. Facing stiff opposition, a disproving British government, and in a true display of Indian resilience and determination, Mardi and Rachan vowed to make a journey from Bombay to London on the 5th of April 1919. The SS Loyalty was set to sail with 250 passengers and 1,952 tons of cargo. People from across the nation gathered at the historic Bombay port to see India's first Swadeshi ship set sail from the Alexandria dock, now known as Indira Dock. Crowds cheered as the passengers got on the ship and cargo was loaded. A magnificent sight. Unforgettable, said Captain Kavasu Kurji about the ship. Passengers included the Maharaja of Kapurthala and the Maharaja of Kashmir. Great Indian freedom fighters like Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi sent in their wishes and even wrote about her in his Young India columns. As the ship moved out of the piers into the Arabian Sea, a new era of shipping in India had commenced. It reached Marseille on 23rd of April and finally London on the 14th of May. The British government, however, did not take kindly to such a momentous occasion in the freedom movement, and strict guidelines and sanctions were laid out to hurt the operations of the shipping company by denying it any cargo on its journey back to Bombay. It was detained for over 6 months in London. Nevertheless, the company, determined to make a difference, acquired a few more ships. Its trade was restricted to destinations like Burma and Sri Lanka, after an agreement was reached with the British government. The SS Loyalty ran for a few more years before she was scrapped in 1923. Today, Walchand and Narottam are considered fathers of modern Indian shipping, and their contribution to this sector will forever be remembered. Thousands of years ago, the explorers may have conquered the sea on their great ships, but on the 5th of April, an ocean steamliner had conquered a young Indian's heart and determination. It was not the ship, but her journey that made her so powerful, striving to uphold the ideals of Swaraj and Swadeshi. She sailed with the hope of an independent India. The legacy of SS Loyalty still lives on in the heart of maritime traders and in the memories of the sea.
Interesting, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very interesting.
Very much
Kuch-
interesting.
Yes,
कुछ
Yes, sir.
कुछ कुछ feel हो रहा है
very
as
much
if
knowledgeable, sir.
as if you have just heard national anthem.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Basically, this was required to set the tone because, um, after spending so many years in shipping, I feel it's my responsibility to ensure that all of you feel the same pride, which I used to feel 30 years ago when I joined shipping. And if you have the pride in what you're doing, you will do well. No doubt about that. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So I'm sure you have noted whatever you had to note down, right? And now, of course, in the second session, what we will do is, because I know you are younger generation than us, when I was doing my studies in Lal Bahadur Shastri Nautical College as a junior third officer, or giving my exams for second officer and chief officers. Of course, our focus time, there was no choice. If the lecturer wants to take the lecture for 2 hours, there's no choice. You have to sit and listen, right? Whether you hear it, you know the difference between listen and hear.
Yes, sir.
कोई
Yes,
बात
sir.
कोई बात नहीं, जब ब्रेक लेंगे तब सोच लेना इसके ऊपर. दोनों का मीनिंग मोरल सेम है, लेकिन थोड़ा सा फर्क है, और वो फर्क बहुत बहुत मायने रखता है. ओके, एनीवे, सो but here I'm going to give you that liberty of I know that your focus time is uh, much more concentrated in hours, and whatever we could pick up 30 years ago, you will pick up in half that time. So let's take a break of about 10 minutes. Should be good,
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
right? So we'll take a break of 10 minutes, and we'll meet after 10 minutes. I would suggest all of you to keep your notebooks next to you once we meet, right? And we will start with the next session will be about types of ships. Okay, I'll run you through some of the types of ships. Of course, uh, with my experience, I can say, Oshin, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thanks for bringing up this, and recording कर रहे हो तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. So I have to be what should I say, careful, right, Oshin?
Yes, sir.
In the classroom, chalo koi baat nahi. Let's hope and I hope and wish that we meet in the classroom someday, uh, if and when the COVID-19 decides to go away. So we'll meet after the break, and we will do the types of ships. Of course, even after doing 30 years in shipping, still I have a lot of doubts about some ships and the constructions and stuff like that. So it's not possible to tell you about everything in the first lecture
मैं
itself.
बेडशीट
About
ठीक करने जा रहा हूँ, मैं अपनी सफाई शुरू कर रहा हूँ, उसके बाद बच्चों को नहलाना है, ठीक है? तो पहले
this is one more beauty of online classes. चलो कैमरा चालू नहीं था, शुक्र है. Okay, तो क्या कह रहा था मैं? हाँ, types of ships. I will just run you through the types of ships. There is a purpose for building or constructing any ship by a naval architect in a shipyard. So we will go through that. Okay. What I would request you is keep your notebook standby so that you can write the type of ship, where it is used, and we will try to have interaction. Okay. Even though limited, whatever possible, let's try to have interaction. So after we come from break, at least give me few more names. Now I know. I can see Akshit. I have heard Oshin. Roxanne is there. So few more. Please tell me your names. बोल दो कि मैं भी हूँ सर. ठीक है? मैं किसी
Yes, sir.
ठीक है? तो मुझे very good. तो break के बाद करते हैं. अच्छा से चाय कॉफी पी लो. Right? And then we will meet after 10 minutes. Should be okay?
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
All right. I'm keeping my.
Sir, can we get a copy of this video?
Yeah, for that only Oshin has asked to record, I think.
Okay. बहुत चैंपियन बैच है. ठीक है, इरफान, we'll take a break of 10 minutes. Let me take a break now.
Yes, sir. Sure.
I don't.
Get back in.
Sir, one question.
हाँ बोलो.
Sir, in the books that was sent on email, after every lesson, there is a book recommended for further reading. How are we going to access that book? Is it physically on?
आपका नाम क्या है?
Somnath Paul.
सोमनाथ.
Yeah, Somnath Paul.
Okay. अगर सोमनाथ आप शिद्दत समझते हो?
Yeah.
अगर शिद्दत से मेरे 6 लेक्चर्स अटेंड करोगे तो ये रेफरेंस बुक की जरूरत शायद नहीं पड़ेगी.
Yeah, that is the problem, sir. I cannot attend all the classes because I will be going on sale.
So you're a sailor, is it?
Yeah. Second engineer right now.
ओके ठीक है. तो ब्रेक के बाद डिस्कस करें इस पॉइंट को. मैं माइंड में रखता हूँ, कहीं पे लिख लेता हूँ, एंड आई विल टेल यू हाउ टू स्टडी. ओके.
Yeah, all right.
ओके, चलो, एंजॉय योर ब्रेक. सी यू एट 10 past 11. नहीं, सॉरी, इट्स ऑलरेडी 11:05, so 15 past 11.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, all right. So let me just write down few names. I can see Mr. Muhammad, right? What's his name? Okay.
Sir, your volume is a little lower now.
Yes, sir. Mohammed Sharif.
Volume is little. Okay, just a moment. Let me write down. Okay, I can see Muhammad Adil.
Yes, sir.
I'll call Adil. 150 student. Not easy for me to remember the names. But
sir, sorry to interrupt you, sir. Irfan here. So you have to increase the volume more because I'm not getting a clear sound for recording. So otherwise, the student will face a problem for your recorded lecture.
How about now?
No, sir. It's still same. It's low. It's low. It's not very low, but it's not high also.
So maybe the mic is power.
Bring your mic close to your mouth.
Is it okay?
Yeah, yes. It's pretty good, sir.
Yes.
शुरू करें?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sure. ठीक है. Okay, so I have I need few names. Okay, Adil is there, Saket is there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are in the era of women empowerment. Mithila is there. Roxanne, you already attempted before, so I will not bother you. Snehal was there last time. Okay, ठीक है. Who else? Okay, Drumil is there. ठीक है, चलो, good. All right, so what did we learn before the break? Two important things. Anyone would like to tell me what did we go through in the pre-break session?
The history of Indian navigation, how it started.
Okay. All right. Maritime history of as far as India is concerned,
as
right?
well as Teslas loyalty.
The story of steamship loyalty.
Yes.
So basically,
importance of shipping.
Importance of shipping, yes, absolutely. 4 businessmen, Walchan Hirachan, Narottam Morarji. There was a third person called Mr. Samal Das, and I think one more. So total 4 of them purchased that ship in 1919, March, and 5th April 1919. It set sails from Mumbai towards London, and that's why we celebrate that as National Maritime Day. Okay, so that's what we saw before the break. All right. So I think before we took this break, someone asked me about how should we go about studying, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me share with you, if you have the access, if you have.
Sir, you have been muted.
Okay, Irfan, don't mute everyone. I need these guys to interact.
There was a lot of disturbance for background. That's the reason I muted on.
Acha, okay. So now some of you can switch on your mics. Let's interact. Let me share the screen. Just give me a second. Okay, all of you can see the index of your book on the screen.
Yes, sir.
All right, ठीक है. अभी अच्छे से ध्यान दो. Can you all hear me clearly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so whatever I'm going to tell you now is definitely not going to come in the exam. But what is important is how I should go about studying. All right. Okay. If you see the index as far as geography of sea transport is concerned, okay. Just a moment. Yeah. All right. Starting with background and transport or network that we covered, right? You all agree?
Yes,
Right. Second one, of course, the ship and introduction. That of course we are discussing this all throughout. So there's no typical or specific lecture for that. So how we should go about studying is there are about 14 chapters. Let's say 14 are visible on the screen to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
yes, sir.
So let's say आज हमने background and transport network कर लिया, shipping introduction कर लिया. We'll also do types of ships, and we will do time zone, ideal, that is international dateline, and daylight saving time. So first four we will be covering today. What I suggest to you is you go through all the uh, lessons, that is lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, and lesson 4. Very simple lessons. It's a very simple first lecture just to give you an idea about shipping, and we will set the tone for geography of sea transport, okay, which is very important because if I know my geography, uh, since shipping is a global profession, once I know my geography, it will help me a big deal, a great deal in understanding, right? Because if you let's say come across a question, okay, the ship is going to start from Marseille in France and going towards New York in US, at least you should know Marseille kahan pe and New York kahan pe. You agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That time you cannot say just give me a minute, let me first find out on the map where is Marseille and where is New York. Okay, so after every lecture in any subject, okay, just go through the lessons, and at the end of the lesson there are few simple questions given. So what I suggest is you read the question and make a note where the answer or related answer to that question is on which page and which paragraph. Okay, and start making your notes together at the same time. Preferably make a separate notepad book or whatever you want to use, or different notes for different subjects, because today it sounds very easy because now we are just on the third lecture. uh, Shipping practice pehla hua hai, I think law, I believe one is done, and the geography, this is what we are doing today. So it is easy to look at it today because there are very few lectures done. But when you're going to look at it from December or January point of view, you can imagine 14 chapters, average about 14 chapters per book. So we're talking about 5 subjects. So kitne hue total?
70.
70, right. We are in the 21st century, so naturally first we will see कि option को क्या डालना है, correct?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, तो 70 minus जो भी करना है. I think the others can switch on their mics as long as you don't have any background noise, because at the moment only Akshit is talking to me. So अगर आप option को भी डालते हो तो you're talking about 60 lessons, and 60 lessons to revise in the month of December and January. You can imagine what I'm saying, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So it is better to go through the lesson, read through the lesson. Do not depend on the recordings, because these recordings or the lectures are basically to give you an idea about the subject, idea about the lesson, and it is not giving you the answers to the lesson. Okay, so you have to do that homework yourself. Go through the lesson, go through the questions, write down where the answer is mentioned in the book or in that lesson chapter, and please write down the important ones. Of course, we will, as we progress in geography, maybe in the second or third lecture when we will start doing actual map work or physical map work, that is the time I will tell you, okay, which chapters, which are the, आप करते हो ना IMP,
Important.
VIMP, VV, 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 IMP and all that. So that we will try to do. Okay.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. Okay. So first four lessons we are going to do today. Let me close unshare this and let me go back to the types of ship. इसको close कर देता हूँ so that there is no confusion. Okay,
Sir, what about the recommended books? You were saying something. You'll
see recommended books are Okay, if you have time, are you working or you are still studying?
No, I'm sailing.
You're sailing, right? So if you can carry few of the books, you can. But if you have the soft copies of all the books, correct?
Yes, soft copy of the books that institute provided, but the recommended books that have been mentioned in the lessons end, and every lessons there, in the end there is one or two books that has been recommended. Those books, I guess I cannot get it anywhere.
No problems. The textbooks which are given by the institute are more than enough to understand the subject and to attempt the exam. Okay.
Yeah, that was my question. I can give the exams on basis of these books only, right?
Yes. So far in last 51 years, the students probably most of them only studied the books and cleared the exams. So have I answered your question?
Yeah. I was under impression that I need to go through those books as well.
Okay, if we continue with the what should I say, miscellaneous questions, then the main chunk जो है वो रह जाएगा. So
Yeah, sir, you can
should we
continue.
start, all of you?
Yes.
Yes,
Some
sir.
of you
Yes,
please.
sir.
Okay, some of you please switch on your mic so that we can interact. Okay. Uh, the screen and I go here. Okay, perfect. Can you see the picture of a container ship?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Okay, let me use the arrow. Okay, maybe I can use this and I can use, okay, maybe black color should be good. All right, so Mahesh, I will start with you. Can you see a container ship? You can switch on your
Yeah, I
mic.
can see.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see the ship.
All right. So if you see this container ship, this is the view of container ship in 4.5 direction, and this is the view of the ship sidewise. Can you see that?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, perfect. You can see the containers are loaded on this ship, and that's the reason it's called container ship. The advantage or benefit of container ship is you can segregate the cargoes. It is not homogeneous cargo. In one of the container you can have apples, other container you can have garments, third container you can have computers, you can have maybe toothbrush or toothpaste, or whatever, right? So different commodities you can load on the same ship, of course in boxes, and these boxes are called as containers. All right. So that's
So right now I'm on container ship only.
एक minute. Yeah. So you can see the container ship, right? These are the containers.
Yeah.
And let me. These are the containers which are stacked or loaded on top of the main deck. And these are the containers which are stacked or loaded inside the cargo hold. Okay. Clear to all of you?
Yes.
Yes,
sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
We'll quickly go through this because this is not what we are basically focusing on, and it is not easy to understand the types of ships in one lecture. So we will quickly go through some of the drawings so that you will at least get an idea how a container ship looks like. Okay, so next is, let me go to the next one. All right, Mr. J. Trivedi, can you switch on your mic?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. Can you this left side of the screen for the class types of container ships?
Types of container ships on the basis of sizes: Panamax, Suezmax, post Panamax, post Suezmax, and post Malaccamax.
Okay, so I'm sure you're making notes. Just to give you a quick idea about what this Panamax Suezmax is. Have you heard of Panama Canal?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Have you heard of Suez Canal?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so when Panama Canal and Suez Canal were constructed, the maximum tonnage the maximum dimensions, okay, that is lengthwise, widthwise, or depthwise, or draftwise, which are allowed for any ship to pass through that, is the maximum limit for that canal. You agree with that?
Yes.
Yes,
sir.
Good. So Panamax and Suezmax is talking about the tonnage or the dimension, maximum dimension requirements before the development or before the amendments or new construction work happened in the individual canals, right? So Panamax is before, Suezmax is before, post Panamax is after the development of Panama Canal happened. You know, they must have dredged it, थोड़ा depth बढ़ाया होगा, थोड़ा width बढ़ाया होगा, थोड़ा length बढ़ाया होगा. Anchorage area may have been increased. So after any amendment or work is done, construction is done, or changes are being done, then those changes, after change, naturally you can accommodate a bigger ship, correct?
Yes, sir.
So post Panamax and post Suezmax is talking about after the work is done, what is the type of tonnage or what is the maximum dimension it can hold, it can take for a ship to transit from one end of the canal to another end of the canal. Have you understood this?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And
Yes, sir.
post Malacca Max is uh, between, of course, I will show you in the map, between Malaysia and Indonesia, there is a channel called Malacca Strait. Okay, there is a strait called Malacca Strait. So if you are going from, say, India to Singapore, there is a place called Malacca Strait, and that is what basically it is talking about. So post Malacca Max, after whatever dredging or whatever depth increase has been taken place, whatever the work with regards to traffic separation scheme has happened, whatever new tonnage it can accept now, it can take now, is called as post Malacca Max. Okay, इतना तो समझ में आ गया सबको?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go to the next. All right, who would like to take this? Volunteers? Because I can't see all of you on the screen at one go.
Yeah.
Anyone can read this line for the class?
Shall I, sir?
Refrigerated container ships. These vessels carry refrigerated cargo mainly in refrigerated containers.
Right. So in container ships also, either you can have normal cargoes or commodities, or you can have refrigerated, or they are known as reefer containers, because there are so many cargoes which are perishable, right? If you're carrying fresh fruits, or if you're carrying meat, or if you are carrying medicines which require a particular temperature maintenance, or you need to maintain the temperature, then of course you cannot load that in a normal box of 20 feet or 40 feet. You need to go in for a container which is supported by a refrigerator. Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Simple.
sir, please explain this point again.
If you are carrying perishable cargoes like fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, meat, or medicines, where that cargo requires certain amount of temperature, right? जब आप fruits और सब्जी लेके आते हो तो फ्रिज में रखते हो, right? Whenever you get
Yes,
milk
yes.
from the market, you put it in the fridge.
Yes.
Correct. So it is something like a fridge. Now this box of 20 feet or 40 feet box is called a container. When it is supported or supplemented by a reefer or refrigerator, okay, it can be a uh, open window type generator which is connected to individual container, or it can be a centralized AC. Like mall में आपको centralized AC होता है, right?
Yes.
When you enter the mall, कॉफी कैफे डे में जो टेम्परेचर मिलेगा वही आपको बाटा के शॉप में मिलेगा, करेक्ट?
Yes.
That is called centralized AC. So you have two different types of reefer container ships. One is individual box fitted with refrigerators, or you can have a centralized one. Now centralized is where one's common temperature is good enough for entire cargo, right? Let's go to the next one. Okay, Snehal, can you read this for the class? Bulk carrier.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Bulk carrier. Bulk carriers are a type of ships which transport cargoes, generally dry cargo, in bulk quantities. The cargo transported in such ships is loose cargo, that is, without any specific packaging to it, and generally contains items like food grains, Oreos, and coals, and even cement.
Okay, that is called ores, not Oreos. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
So basically food grains, right? Whether we are carrying wheat, whether we are carrying sugar, whether we are carrying rice, okay? All these are food grains, okay? And आपने सबने दाल तो खाई होगी चावल के साथ?
Yes, sir.
There are different types of dals which are also known as pulses, okay? So when we are carrying this type of cargoes, these are food related cargoes or food grains. These are called food grains. Second one is ores. Now ores क्या होता है Snehal? Basically, whenever you do mining, okay, and when you do mining and extract cargoes or extract that raw product from Mother Earth, it can be coal, it can be iron ore, it can be bauxite. So these are called ores. Now ores can be in different sizes. It can be in powder form, or it can be small stones, or it can be even big rocks. Have you understood that?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And
sir.
cement, of course, is a bulk cargo. Okay, so when we are loading this such cargoes, now let me just use the mm, okay, let me use white color. Maybe it will be okay. Can you see this? I made a circle.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
All right. So you can see this is hatch number 1 or your cargo compartment number 1. This is cargo compartment number 2. That is number 3. And it goes on from forward to aft. This is the forward part of the ship. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Either you can have different cargoes in different compartments, or you can have same cargo in all compartments. And when we say same cargo in all compartments, it is also known as homogeneous cargo. What is it called?
homogeneous cargo.
And when you and let's say if you have coal in the first compartment or first hold, you have bauxite in the second hold, you have rice in the third hold, then it is called as heterogeneous cargo. You have different cargoes in different holds, properly segregated. Segregated means separated from each other. You don't want your sugar to mix with coal, right?
Sir, can you please repeat the second point?
Okay, what was the second point?
First one was homogeneous cargo and second one was?
Heterogeneous.
Okay, sir.
Okay, all right. Let me clear this. Okay, let me go to the next slide now. Okay, who else is there? Just tell me I'm also there.
I am also there, sir.
I'm also
Na,
there, sir.
नाम बता दो.
also there, sir.
I'm also there.
Vinod Vasudevan.
Okay, Vinod.
Manish Tiwari.
Sir,
All right.
Mohammed Singh.
Okay, Manish. All right, Manish, can you read this for the class? Tanker ships.
Tanker ship. Tanker ships are specialized vessels for carrying large amount of liquid cargo.
Right. So in the previous slide, we saw large amount of bulk dry cargo, correct? We saw bulk carrier in the previous slide. Let me
Yes,
just go
sir.
to here. We saw bulk carrier, right? So whenever we are carrying bulk cargoes, bulk dry cargoes, okay, there are two types, dry and wet. So when we are carrying dry cargoes in bulk, these are called as bulk carriers. And when we are carrying liquid cargoes in bulk, it is carried in tankers, okay? And there are different types of tankers. It can be crude oil tanker, it can be a product tanker, it can be a chemical tanker, it can be a parcel carrier, it can be a LPG ship, right? Anyone knows what is LPG, full form?
Liquid petroleum gas.
Petroleum
Petroleum gas.
Liquefied petroleum gas.
Liquefied petroleum gas, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Basically, it's a mixture of propane and butane. And the gas which you use for cooking in the kitchen is your LPG.
The propane and butane differently carried.
Differently carrying, of course. And then you can have a mixture depending on at what mixture it will give you the max gross calorific value. Of course, we'll not go into technical. बहुत बड़ा subject है petroleum. When we will do crude oil ships, okay? आपके index में था ना crude oil ships. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
आप कोई
Yes, sir,
रिस्पॉन्ड
yes.
नहीं करोगे
Yes.
तो मुझे लगेगा
Yes,
मैं
sir,
सिर्फ
yes,
इरफान से ही इंटरेक्ट कर रहा हूँ.
Sir, I am always there.
अच्छा, he is always there. चलो. Similarly, I would like to hear from the 150 people, 120 people that I'm always there, sir, with you.
Sir, I am always there with you.
I'm always there, sir.
Always there.
Bottom line is very simple. You have to help me to help you. नहीं समझ में आया तो कोई बात नहीं, मैं भी सुबह ही पढ़ के आया हूँ. चलो. Okay, tanker ships are specialized vessels for carrying large amount of liquid cargo. Okay, so tankers. So many types. We will do them one by one later. Okay, who would like to take this? Vasudev, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am
Yes,
there,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, read this for the class.
Roll-on ships.
Okay. Vasudev, you can read. Yeah.
Yes, sir. RORO is an acronym for roll-on, roll-off. Roll-on, roll-off ships are vessels that are used to carry wheeled cargo.
Means what?
That means they can carry, machineries or trucks that we usually transport.
You can roll them in and you can roll them out using their own machinery.
No, sir. I'm sorry.
Vehicles, basically.
Basically,
Tanks.
drive in and dry out.
They can carry passengers also.
Yes, sir.
Okay. रोरो पे ध्यान दे. पहले आप जो बात कर रहे हो वो रोमैक्स की बात कर रहे हो, वो थोड़ा आगे वाला वर्जन है. ओके, रोरो कर लेते हैं. रोल ऑन रोल ऑफ is basically if you have set of drivers as stevedores, you can use these drivers to drive in the cars or automobiles and drive out the automobiles from the ship. So loading and discharging happens using the wheels of the cargo itself. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
In the previous ship, in the previous ये वाला diagram आपने देखा? Can you see bulk
Yes.
carrier?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this wheat cargo or iron ore cargo, can it come out on its own wheels?
No.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
You need a cargo gear. It can be crane or it can be derrick. It can be shore crane. It can be ship crane. अगर ship cranes है तो you have your own cargo handling equipment on the ship. Okay, these
sir.
are known as
Yes.
geared vessels. What is it called?
Geared
Geared
vessels.
Geared vessels.
And if you, in this particular photograph, if you see, they are using a shore crane on the jetty. Jetty पता है आपको क्या होता है?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Write down similar names for jetty. Jetty, berth. लिखा?
Yes, sir.
Berth spelling is B-E-R-T-H, not B-I-R-T-H. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So jetty, berth, pier, P-I-E-R. लिखा?
Yes, sir.
Next one is quay, Q-U-A-Y.
Okay.
Next one is terminal. There's so many names. Okay, depending on what type of ship and where you are going to. In case of tankers, it is called as terminal. So berth,
Terminal.
quay, pier, jetty. So here you are using a shore crane. When you are using outside support to load or discharge your cargo, then that ship is called as gearless vessel. Okay, so you don't have your own gear. Clear?
Yes.
चलो ठीक है, चलते हैं अभी. Okay, so Vasudev, we were on this particular slide. It's a car carrier or a roll-on roll-off ship. We also, in acronym short form, is RORO ship. Okay, and if you see this diagram, carefully, let me start from. This is the after portion or the stern portion of the ship. This is the forward portion of the ship. Okay, can you see my mouse there?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That's the forward portion. That's the aft portion. Now, this type of ships, of course, we are not using shore cranes to load and discharge like this. We are opening up a platform, which is also called as RAM. Okay, RAM. Now, since this particular platform or this particular RAM is in the aft portion, it is called as stern RAM. Okay, can you see this stern RAM?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you
Yes,
see
sir.
this? Can you see the wire here? One wire over here and one wire over here?
Yes, sir. The
Yes,
cables.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the cables or yes. So whenever you complete, or it can be hydraulic pipes also, whenever you complete the operation using these cables or wires, just a moment. Okay, we can close this ramp and then the ship is ready to sail. Similarly, can you see a small ramp over here on the side?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is called as a side ramp. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And if you see
Yes,
this
sir.
shape, there are different types of cargoes. Here you have got tanks, Here you got a locomotive. There is a railway engine over here. All right. Then you have containers loaded over here. Then you have cars loaded over here. So this is basically a car carrier. Just to give you an idea how a car carrier looks like. Okay.
Yes, sir.
As
Yes,
you have
sir.
these, as you have this stern door or the stern ramp, you can have a bow door or bow ramp. In this case, instead of opening up and down, it is opening sidewise. So जैसे आपने ये open कर लिया, right? The locomotives or automobiles can move in and move out on their own wheels. That's why it's called as a ro-ro ship. Understood, all of you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
in addition to this ro-ro cargo, if you are also carrying passengers, then it is also called as ro-pax. Okay,
Rope patch.
ro dash pax. Pax is a short form for
Yes.
passengers. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go to the next. Okay, who is next? Maybe who? Kona hai next?
Shall I, sir?
Yeah, go ahead. What's your name?
Omkar.
Omkar. Okay.
Passenger ships. Passenger ships, as the name suggests, are mainly used for transiting passengers. They are mainly classified into cruise ships, mainly used for recreational activities. Cruise ships are like luxurious floating hotels with state-of-the-art facilities.
All right. And one of them was Titanic. नाम सुना है?
Yes.
Yes.
चलो ठीक है. नेक्स्ट लेक्चर हमारा जुलाई में है तो तब if you want, okay, condition है, if you want I will tell you the story about Titanic.
Sure, sure.
नहीं है तो कोई बात नहीं, we can complete the other portion.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
It's all up to you.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, when you explained about Roro,
Uh-huh.
please tell a bit more about ramps. So they can operate on their, with their own capacity. I didn't understand bow ramp and the difference between side ramp and stern ramp.
Okay, you need a platform or you need some kind of horizontal surface to move in the cars and move out the cars, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so basically, who is this Ocean, is it?
Yes, sir. Ocean. Yes.
Okay, now Ocean, just imagine now this particular ramp, this particular rectangle, a rectangular platform. If you close this, okay, at the moment it is open. If you close this, just imagine the tongue of a frog. Now this is a frog. These are his eyes, and that's his tongue. Okay.
Yes, sir.
If you close this, the ramp is going to be closed, right? Whenever you are in port, you open the ramp or this horizontal platform, secure it on the jetty or terminal or quay or pier, and then move in and move out the cars. This is your, since it is located at the after portion, it is called as stern ramp. Here you can see a ramp, Oshin.
Yes, sir.
Since it is located on the side of the ship, it is called as side ramp.
Yes, sir.
And this is the front portion of the ship. Now here you can see the front portion of the ship on the right side of the diagram.
Yes.
Now you have either you can have a ramp which is opening vertically up and down, or you can have a ramp which is opening sidewise. Since this is located, this particular opening is located in the forward portion or bow portion of the ship, it is called as a bow ramp. Clear?
Yes, sir. So usually we have cables already installed on the ships, or do we need external resources to open
Very
ramp?
no, it's self-sufficient ships. Very much the cables or the hydraulic system is very much installed. It is part of the ship.
Okay, sir.
These are self-geared vessels. Okay, you don't need outside support. You just need drivers to drive in these cars or drive out these cars, or you need something known as some kind of a pushing or pulling mechanism to pull out or push in the automobiles. Have you seen forklifts basically?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you lift up the cargo and put it in. Similarly, you have pushing mechanisms and you have pulling mechanisms too, because some of them cannot be operated themselves, even though they have wheels. But what you can, have you seen a band car ko jab tow karte highway pe, right?
Yes, sir.
you need something to tow in and tow out. So basically,
Yes,
the
sir.
tow in tow out mechanism also is utilized to move the cars. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir. Got it. Thank
All
you,
right.
sir.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I
Who
wanted
wants to
to
go?
ask,
Who?
excuse me, sir.
Hanji.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, so sir, road tax is basically the passengers also are carried and the automobiles are also carried.
Correct.
Both are
It's
okay.
so you have different compartments for loading your automobiles, and you have different accommodation or different what should I say, space or compartment for keeping your passengers. All right.
Yes.
Okay. You know which is the most difficult cargo to carry at sea?
Passengers.
You know why?
Managing them is very difficult.
Their
Yeah.
Safety parameter. Safety.
crowd management, human behavior.
Crowd management, human behaviors. They can talk and they can complain.
Yes.
I had asked for craft butter, but you are given me Amul butter, right? But when you're carrying coal or iron ore, or you're carrying
Safety
automobiles,
parameter.
right? There's so many things. Okay, we'll discuss about that. All right. So passengers is basically for recreational purpose, and ferries is basically joining. I mean, there are small ferries or launch boats going from Gateway of India to Elephanta Caves, or those who are transiting English Channel between France and
This ship is from France to UK.
yeah.
France to UK.
There are different areas or locations across the world. Okay, different canal, different straits. Even Malacca Strait, you have uh, these ferries going from Indonesia part to Malaysia part, or Indonesia part to
I
Singapore
mean
part.
about this Stena Roro, this one. It goes from UK to France.
All right. Who is this?
I'm Karanjit, sir.
Karanjit. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Karanjit, for that. But Karanjit, we have to understand that we have majority of the students who are not from shipping background. So यहाँ पे अभी शुरुआत हमें बॉम्बे से करनी पड़ेगी. Then we will slowly go towards English channel. Okay, Karanjit?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Then there are different offshore types of vessels. We will not spend much time on that. These are pretty well covered or described, and of course, this type of ships, most of you will be in shipping, either in um chartering divisions, or pre-fixture division, or post-fixture division, or operation department, where you will be maximum or majority of you will be dealing with either cargo ships, bulk carriers, or RoPax ships, or passenger ships, or ro-ro ships, or tankers, different types of tankers. So we'll not spend much time on this particular one, but I would like to show you one more important type of cargo. Okay, can you all see this?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is called as a timber carrier. Timber means anything which is related to wood. Okay. So there are specialized ships for carrying timbers. And let me use the arrow to show you. Just give me a second. Okay. Can you see this part?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. On the side of the ship above the main deck, all right, on the side of the ship above the main deck, you have these barriers. Why these barriers are required? If these barriers are not that, all that wooden cargo or timber will go in the sea, correct?
Yeah.
Yes,
If
sir.
if it goes because of rough weather, then you are losing the cargo. If it is going, if the ship's master decides to throw it for the safety of the ship, and it is called as jettisoning of cargo. Okay, so this is a specialized type of ship which is called as a timber carrier. And why I chose to tell you this particular one is because when we will do load line lesson, we will be doing load lines for normal ships, and we are also going to do the load lines for timber ships. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yep. Go ahead.
Uh, so regarding this derrick crane and crane, is there any difference in this?
Yes, derricks and cranes, there is a huge difference. What we will do? Who is this?
Rishi Vandre, sir.
Okay, I think you have a chapter on ship's gear in shipping practice.
Okay, sir.
Okay, तो मेरे ख्याल से by September or October it will be covered with the difference between crane and a derrick.
Okay, sir.
Right, most of the construction work which is going on in Bombay, can you see the huge cranes there?
Yes, sir.
When they are building the superstructures like malls or flyovers, right? You have these different cranes. These are basically crane has a horizontal bar which is called a jib, and there is a wire and a hook. Okay, and in derrick, of course, it's a different mechanism. Can you see this diagram on the right hand side?
Yes, sir.
So that's basically your crane main structure or crane mast. And can you see this horizontal bar over here?
Yes, sir.
That is called as a jib of the crane, and below which there will be a hook. All right. Even in this diagram, you can see this crane. This is the crane mast. That's the jib, and that's the hook. Clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. Just giving you a brief about this type of ships. Then, of course, you have ships which are called as icebreakers, because
Yes.
in some parts, extreme north and extreme south, in almost 4 to 5 months. Okay. Have you heard the name Great Lakes in Canada? Any one of you?
Yes, sir.
कोई बात नहीं. There are certain parts in the northern hemisphere towards the North Pole and southern hemisphere towards the South Pole where almost 4 to 5 months out of the year you will have snow like this. And in this type of snow, you still need transportation, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes,
So,
sir.
so let's say if I want to carry this particular ship, or if I want to move this ship through this ice, it is
Ice
just not
cooker.
possible. So you need something to break the ice and make the way first, and then the ship will follow. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So you
Yes,
have
sir.
icebreakers types, of course, just to give you an idea. Then of course there are different types. So we have covered basically the. I will stop sharing. Okay. All right. So have you understood types of ships?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me catch one of you. Roxanne, you are not paying attention. So tell me what type of ships we have done so far. You have to unmute your mic and speak. You are speaking, but you are the only listener. Unless you open your mic, we cannot hear. See
Yeah,
Akshit.
I've unmuted.
Okay, go ahead.
So, sir, we have container ships,
Container ships, good.
which includes Panamax, Suezmax. Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah.
Your voice is a
Okay.
little bit breaking, Roxanne.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we have post Panamax and post Suezmax, which are made after the development of the Panamax and the Suezmax canals.
Right.
Then there is post Maclamax. I don't know how to pronounce that.
No, it's not Makla, it's Malacca.
Malacca.
Okay, spelling is Malacca, or some people call it Melaka, Malacca Strait, which is between Malaysia and Indonesia. Okay, and it starts from Bay of Bengal, ends into Singapore. Okay, we will do that when we will do the actual map work. Okay, yes, continue, Roxanne.
Then there are normal cargoes and normal containers where we carry normal cargoes. Then there are refrigerated containers like reefers. So where
Okay.
we carry products which need to be kept cool.
Yes, we have refrigerated or reefer containers where perishable cargoes can be carried. Very good, Roxanne. Thank you. Okay, Rushi. Okay, Rushi, you can continue where Roxanne has left. Yeah. आफ्टर कंटेनर्स क्या देखा हमने? आपका भी माइक चालू नहीं है. हाँ.
After containers, we have tanker vessels. We have ro-ro ships.
What type of tanker vessels I told you?
LPG.
Okay.
And then we have ro-ro ships, roll on, roll off. Cars.
अरे आप डायरेक्टली डेजर्ट पे चले गए. सुबह से शुरुआत कर. पहले क्या बोला था?
The
Tankers.
Yeah.
That means you are not written down. Good. We started with crude oil carriers. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I
First
told you about VLCC and ULCC. Okay, please continue, Rushi.
I'll move to Roro.
No, you continue with tankers. Let's complete tankers first.
In tankers, we have very large crude carriers, ultra large crude carriers. They are used to carry LPG, then fuel oil, jet
Okay.
fuel, methane,
Basically liquid cargo in bulk,
liquid
correct?
cargo, and bulk. Yes.
Okay, all right. Let's move on to the Roro ship. Rushik,
In,
continue.
in Roro ships, we can carry cars, trucks, heavy vehicle, buses, which are loaded using ramp, and there are different type of mechanism to load cargo. That is bow doors, you said, side ramps, stern ramp, hydraulic ramps, and then we have ropex, which carries a car which carries car as well as passengers.
Wonderful. Okay, Saket, you want to continue? What is the next one we did?
So I think the next one was the passenger ships.
Okay, passenger ship की बात करते हैं, all right?
Basically, they were of two types. I could remember the two ships that are basically a luxury ships that carry passengers. They have facilities like hotels and casinos and etc.
Right.
That types of ships are the small vessels. Mainly, their purpose is mainly for they can be used for basically their use is to to basically direct the larger ships out of the waterways to the main sea. And the next ships were offshore vessels. Sir, offshore vessels. They were offshore vessels, and
Okay,
also yes, sir. The specialty vessels, like timber carriers.
Very good.
Livestock carriers. Basically, they are designed to carry special type of
Okay,
loads.
basically, Saket, there are two types of load lines. First
Okay.
load line is a normal load line for all types of ships. And if we are carrying timber cargo, then the load line is called as lumber load line, LUMBER. Okay, just note down that.
Okay.
And Rushi, you know why I said read the lessons after the lecture?
Yes, sir.
Because in the last century, there was a philosopher from Germany. His name was Eben Goss. And you know what he said? He said कि जो भी आप पढ़ोगे 1 घंटे के बाद 70 to 80% of that you are going to forget.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
So please keep that in mind. Okay.
Yes.
It is always better to revise the lectures. Okay. So that you are geared up, and whatever you have understood now, even you go through the recordings again, or even if you go through the lectures again, it is not really going to help you. What you understand today, write it down in your own words. Okay. From the exam point of view also, we are looking at your understanding, not a complete book taste paragraph. Have you understood the concept? That's more important, especially in the first year. Okay, clear to all of you?
Yes.
So write in your own language whatever you have understood.
Yes,
ठीक है?
sir.
All right, super. So we'll take a short break of maybe 5 minutes now. And after this, we are going to do the lesson number 4, which is about time zone. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what is the time now? It's 7 past 12. Okay, so 12:15 should be good.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
इरफान सेकंड ईयर का लेक्चर है क्या दोपहर को?
Yes, of course, sir. Logistic management from Gautama,
Captain
sir.
Gautama, Dinesh Gautama. Okay,
Yes,
good. तो 2 बजे है ना?
Yes, sir. 2 बजे. You can
चलो
extend till 2:50, 1:15.
मेरे कहने से क्या होगा? स्टूडेंट्स तो बोर हो गए ऑलरेडी. What do you say?
No, sir. No, sir.
Sir, not at all.
But as
Not at all.
the crowd, they are very interestingly sitting in the lecture, so you can.
ठीक है, तो थोड़ा सा एक्सटेंड करते हैं, चलेगा?
Sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ठीक है. Okay, so let's meet at 12:15 first, and we're going to do very interesting thing about time zones. Okay, easy नहीं है. मुझे ही इसको समझने के लिए काफ़ी समय लगा. So, you know, और वो मुझे आपको एक्सप्लेन कराना है. ठीक है? So let's break and see you after whatever time, 12:15.
Okay, sir.
See Rushi, I can see. Am I audible now clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. ठीक है, let me share the screen with you first and then we will start. So we are going to do now lesson number 4, which is about time zones. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all of you can see this on the screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is visible.
Okay. Now, Rishi, tell me what you can see on the screen.
Map.
Oh, your volume is little low.
Maps.
You can see the world map, correct?
World map.
Sanjeev, you can also see the world map, or it's something else you can see now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Time zones chart.
The volume is very low.
The Greenwich line, sir. Timeline.
नहीं इतने डिटेल में नहीं जाते, but basically when you look at the diagram, what all can you see? Can you see the entire world from left to right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can we safely say from west to east I can see the entire world? You have to switch on your mics and acknowledge, please.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
I can't hear you. Hello.
Yes, sir. We can see.
Yes, sir. It is.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is a map, world map.
Yes, it's world map.
Okay, so you all can see the world map from extreme left to extreme right, from west to east, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me, दुनिया गोल है कि स्फीयर है कि क्या है?
Yes.
Sphere.
Sphere. Okay. दुनिया गोल है. We all agree?
Yes, sir.
Still confused.
Anyone from a different idea?
Not completely.
So that's called a flat theory or flat earth is
बहुत डिटेल में जा रहे हो आप लोग तो. I think मेरे ख्याल से इरफान they are already at the first year graduation. We are teaching them first standard lecture syllabus. चलो कोई बात नहीं. Okay, so
I think sir has got his network connection issues.
yeah, seems that only.
The study is offline.
Okay.
hello.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me, Irfan?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Very loud.
Yes, sir, you can.
Your voice is audible.
Yes, sir.
You're audible and visible, sir. Clear enough.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
your
Yes,
voice is
sir.
audible, sir.
Audible and visible.
So your connection is very poor.
Sir, we can see you pause.
So on your screen, you can see your network. It is showing yellow color, and that's your poor.
Let me quickly share. All right. Okay, so all of you can see the entire world map from extreme left to extreme right, which is from west to east. Okay.
Yes,
so basically, the dunya goal hai, and on top of the sphere, if you can, whenever we have learned geography in the schools, we've been shown the world as a sphere, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Right, and on top of the sphere, you can see the entire world. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Over here, what basically we have done is, on top of the sphere, whatever paper was there, which is representing the entire world, we have just opened that paper and made it horizontal on the wall. Okay, is it clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
super.
sir.
Okay, okay, Omkar, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I am audible.
So Omkar, just tell me, ये दुनिया जो घूमती है, सूरज के इर्द-गिर्द घूमती है?
Yes.
Revolves around the sun.
Sir, please
Yes.
check the audio. We are experiencing some vibrations from your audio system. Or else,
Yes, sir.
what I suggest, you log off everything and do a restart and re-log in. Maybe there's some sound problem. The moment you speak, there's a vibration.
Maybe.
Okay, so you want me to sign out and sign in again?
Sir,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
I think your voice is proper, sir.
Yeah,
Now your voice is proper.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
there
now
was
it's
some
proper.
disturbance externally, but now it's fine.
Now it's fine, sir. So you can continue. You can continue. Now it's fine, sir.
ओके क्या होता है ना वो लिंक निकल जाती है फिर अभी कहाँ पे था मैं
World map.
दुनिया
yeah,
The
so
map को
basically you have
horizontally लगा दिया है.
You were asking whether
horizontally कर दिया okay and then I was asking Omkar the earth revolves around the sun right
Yes.
or
Yes,
the
sir.
other way quickly okay tell me Omkar how many days it takes for the earth to revolve around the sun
365 days, sir.
365 days good एडिशनली और एक गड़बड़ है मिथिला ये दुनिया जो है सन के इर्द गिर्द तो घूमती है और अपने इर्द गिर्द भी घूमती है यू नो दैट
Yes.
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 right
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
and that's the reason after every 24 hours you have breakfast time
Yes, sir.
Chalo, good and how much time does it take for the earth to revolve around herself
24 hours.
24 hours excellent
Around 24.
all of you know about circle
23
correct?
hours, 56 minutes actually.
Oh God.
Okay, 23 hours. How many? 59?
56
Physics.
56. चलो, be happy with that. चलो ठीक है.
भाई 4 seconds भी है. 4 seconds भी है.
आप बात करते करते 4 सेकंड तो ऐसे ही निकल गए. चलो कोई बात नहीं. A circle has how many degrees?
360 degrees.
360 degrees. 360 degrees. Very good. और एक पूरा राउंड मारने के लिए कितना टाइम लेती है दुनिया?
24 घंटे.
24 hours.
365 days.
365 days to make a complete revolution around the
Yes.
sun, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
Mithila, tell me. The question Mithila को है, okay? The most intelligent student. ऐसे ही बोल रहा हूँ. All of you are quite intelligent. So 360 degrees, if it is taking 24 hours, तो एक घंटे में कितना डिग्री घूमेगी?
15.
15 degrees.
15 degrees. Very good. I'll come to next Akshit now. So Akshit, if I have to divide this 360 degrees, which is from, okay, let me use the annotations to make you understand.
So sorry to interrupt you, sir, but some disturbance is there.
Yes, sir. Additional
क्या
sound
करूं
is
मैं
coming from you, from your side.
It's the best I can do.
Maybe the fan and something around you.
like some static.
That's the one.
There is some construction work in the nearby building, so nothing I
Yeah.
can do about that. Just let me
Okay.
close the windows. Let's see if it improves the situation a little bit. Just give me a second. In UK, what is the capital of UK, guys?
Great
What's the
Britain, sir.
capital of UK?
ग्रेट ब्रिटेन।
लंदन।
ग्रेट ब्रिटेन का कैपिटल क्या है? जैसे इंडिया का कैपिटल दिल्ली है।
लंदन।
लंदन सर।
Right. So London is a port, is a city, is the capital of UK, and London के बाजू में एक छोटा सा कस्बा है, small village is there, and that particular village name is Greenwich. Okay, so all of you please write down GREEN, Green.
Greenwich Mean Time.
And continue WICH, Greenwich. Okay, but the W is silent there, so we call it Greenwich. Clear to all of you? Noted?
Yes sir, noted.
Okay, super. Now, since the shipping origin was from UK, okay, most of the European countries they take the credit of starting the shipping. I mean, the shipping started from their location. So naturally, UK took the lead as the oldest and the most advanced maritime nation. And he said that, okay, let's have an imaginary line. You have to have some reference, correct? You need to have some reference so that you can say that I'm east of this or I'm west of this. जैसे आप क्लास में जब बैठते हो, and when I ask you where you are sitting, you can say that, okay, I'm sitting left of Akshit, or I'm sitting right of Vasudev, or I'm sitting behind Omkar, correct? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So basically, when we are
Yes sir.
saying this, we are making some reference. And if you have the reference, it's easy to locate your position. You agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes sir. We
Okay.
totally agree.
So there is one reference which is vertical reference, and there is one reference which is horizontal reference. Vertical reference, that is this particular line which divides the earth or the entire world into eastern hemisphere and western hemisphere, is also called as prime meridian or a prime longitude. All of you write down prime meridian. Meridian ka spelling MERIDIAN, meridian.
So can you repeat the statement, please, to note down?
Yes sir, please
Okay.
repeat it.
Basically, there are two references, all right? There's one horizontal reference and there's one vertical reference. The vertical reference passes through a small village called Greenwich, which is next to London City in United Kingdom. Okay, this much heard?
Sir, can you remove the headphone mic for a moment? You just check whether the pin is giving the wire that is connected to your laptop. This is causing the disturbance. Just for a moment, you can remove the pin of the headphone and mic and speak directly.
Okay, let me change the
Yeah.
earphone and see if I can.
It is not continuous. The moment you move your head, at that time it comes up, and afterward it stops.
Now it's better.
Is it okay now?
Yes, now it's
Yes,
Yes,
better.
sir.
Yes,
Perfect.
okay.
Yes, now it is
All
better.
right.
Yeah, it's much better.
Okay, मैं इसको clear करता हूँ पहले. Okay, all right. So basically, that's UK for us. Keep saying yes, acknowledge so that I can continue. This is UK for us, all right?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
There is a vertical imaginary line passing through a place called Greenwich, which is in London, in UK, all right?
Yeah.
And this vertical line is the first reference we have, which is also known as prime meridian. Clear? Which divides the Earth into Western Hemisphere and Eastern Hemisphere. Clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The total circle is of 360 degrees, which is divided into 24 hours. Correct? So that means
Yes sir.
if 360 degrees are divided into 24 hours, then 1 hour is equivalent to 15 degrees. Correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that means if you have to look at the entire world, now at the moment in Mumbai, it is 12:30, correct?
Yes sir.
If you go to US, what time will it be?
It will be about 12 hours difference from us. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So
Yes,
some
sir.
of them are going to be in the midnight time. Some of them are going to be in the morning 6 o'clock time, and some of them are going to be in the evening 6 o'clock time. Correct?
Yes.
Depending on which location you are on
Yes,
the.
sir.
Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So let's only talk about the vertical reference. Let's not confuse with the horizontal reference, which is equator, which we'll do next time. So vertical reference, if you start from this center line, then you have out of this 360 degrees entire world, if we divide it into two halves, Western Hemisphere and Eastern Hemisphere, how much each half will be? How many degrees, Akshit?
180 degrees, sir.
360, 180 degrees. So you have 180 degrees on this
Western
side.
and one
And 180 degrees
You
on the
have
east
180
side.
degrees.
on the Eastern
Very
Hemisphere.
good. You got 180 degrees on this side. Okay, perfect. That means you have 12 hours on this side and you have 12 hours on this side. You all agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
That's India for us. And at the moment we are in
Yes,
Mumbai. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's imagine that it is noon time, sharp 12 o'clock in Mumbai. All right. So
Okay.
basically, when we are talking about Mumbai, one of the students said that I'm basically listening to a lecture from Bahrain, right? Who was that? The student from Bahrain. Okay, somewhere in Persian Gulf or Arabian Gulf. Okay, so that means she has a different time from India, from Mumbai. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Correct.
Yes,
So when
totally.
we are talking about time zones, basically, if we divide the Earth into 24 zones of 15 degrees each, if we start from Greenwich, then of course, let's imagine that at Greenwich, okay, let us imagine at Greenwich, at the moment it is 12 o'clock or noon time. That means the sun is right above our head. If we are considering this as noon time or 1200 hours, then 15 degrees east of Greenwich is going to be 12 plus 1, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So that will be 1300 hours or
Yes.
1 p.m. in the
1
afternoon.
p.m.
If we go 15 degrees more, it will be 2 p.m. 3 degree, third time zone will be 45 degrees, 3 hours. So that is
3
12
hours.
plus 1 plus 1
1,
plus
2.
1. Similarly, if we go here on the extreme right, okay, if it is noon time here, can you tell me what time it's going to be here?
Where, sir? 1, 2, 3,
On the
3
extreme
3
right
o'clock.
of
3
this.
o'clock.
5, 10.
3 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
3 o'clock.
Okay, just follow my. Can you see the mouse with the pen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So first 15 degrees, if we go on the east of Greenwich,
1
it
o'clock.
is 1200 plus 1, that is 1300, 1 p.m. Correct.
1300.
Very good. Similarly, we go to the next time zone, it is going to be
1400.
1400. And if we continue,
1500.
if we
16,
continue and go
17,
to the
18,
end
19,
of this 180
20,
degrees, what will be
21.
the time here?
Midnight,
24
sir.
hours. 24.
24
Midnight,
hours. Yes,
12
midnight.
hours.
It's be
Yes,
24
yes,
hours.
12
yes.
So
hours.
basically,
Midnight.
if it is noon time here, it is going to be midnight here. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
What is the
12.
date today?
20th June.
20th June.
We are on 20th June. Very good. So I
Yes,
will
sir.
need basically 3 volunteers here. Let's start with Om. Can you switch on your camera, or it's already on? Because I can't see you. Hello. Basically, I will need 3 candidates, 3 volunteers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
Om is So Om is there at the Greenwich. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We have got Snehal, who is there sitting over here. Okay, Snehal, you are here. Let me
Yes,
write
sir.
S. And that is Om. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And who else is there? Vasudev, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can, sir.
Okay, so Vasudev is over here. All right, clear? All of you? Itna
Yes.
assume ho gaya?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
situation
Yes, sir.
samajh mein aa gayi? Good. So Om is at 1200 hours or noon time. Om is situated in Greenwich or in London. Okay, where the time zone starts, which is he's on the prime meridian. Now, as we go away from Om towards east, we are adding 1 hour. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So basically from Om, if we go towards Snehal, it's an addition of 12 hours. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So on 20th of June, if Om is on 1200 hours noon time, what will be the time at Snehal?
21:00.
12 a.m. 21st
night.
Yes.
21st,
12 a.m.
21st, 12 a.m.
12 a.m. Midnight of
Okay. If we are not crossing this line, if we are just before, Snail is just before the line, that means she is just
In
before
20th.
midnight on 20th of June. You all agree with that?
Yes.
yes, sir. Totally agree.
Okay, super. चलो अभी westward चलते हैं. If we are now going from Om towards Vasudev, then as we go, first time zone will be 12 minus 1. It will be 11 o'clock.
Yes.
We go to the next, it will be 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock. You all agree with this? You understanding
Yes,
this?
sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Very
Yes.
good. So if we move westwards by 12 hours, what will be the time at Vasudev?
So it will
19th of
be
June.
19th of June. 1200 hours of 19th of June.
21.
Okay, so we can say this is 20th of June. Okay, 0001 hours. You agree with this?
Yes, sir.
19. Yes, sir.
19, sir.
अभी 19 नहीं, अभी जब तक क्रॉस
No,
नहीं
no,
करेगा
no.
19 कैसे होगा?
It is just starting.
It's just starting, sir.
It's just starting.
Just beginning. We have
001
not
है तो 19 कैसे होगा?
we have not crossed this imaginary line, so we are still on 20th. You agree with this?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Very good. So when we are at Vasudev, it is on 20th 0001 hours, correct? And when we are at
Yes.
Snehal, it is 20th.
Of 21st, right?
No, no, no. 20th ka last.
No,
It
as
is
far
going to
as
start
23:59.
21st, but it is 20th ka last.
3
So 11
quarter
hours.
to
Like you can
12.
assume as 11:59.
59, correct.
50 or something.
Like you can assume 11:59.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So let's assume since Snehal is saying, let's
Yeah,
assume
so
this is 23:59. Okay.
23:59.
Super.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now, okay, इतना समझ में आया सबको?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
इसको पकड़ के रखो, हाँ, नहीं तो ये छूट
Yes,
जाएगा
sir.
तो फिर गाड़ी छूट जाएगी. Please explain again. Time नहीं है. 12:40 हो गए. घंटी
Yeah,
बजाएगा
yeah,
इरफान. Okay, so now Omkar is at noon time, Snail is at 23:59, and Vasudev is at 28th June 0001. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Super. Now, if we join the world from this, like if we join this part of the world with this part of the world, it will be a cylinder. Yes or no? Cylinder हो जाएगा कि नहीं? Join करेंगे तो.
Clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now this is a flat map. If we join it as a cylinder, all of you agree that Snehal will be one step away from Vasudev and Vasudev will be one step away from Snehal. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
If we cross this imaginary line, which is 180 degrees opposite of Om, okay, Snail is going to enter the zone of Vasudev, and if Vasudev move towards west, and if he crosses this line, he is going to enter the zone of Snail. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now, if we follow the clock of Vasudev, 28:0001 hours. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
If he crosses the line, what will be the date and time in his clock?
21st. 19th.
No.
19th
No.
June.
पीछे जा रहे हो,
No,
right?
no, no.
19th.
Correct. So from
19th.
20th you are going towards 19th. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
19th.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It
So
will be 19.
correct. So if we follow the wristwatch of Vasudev, from 20th June 0001, when he crosses the line, it is going to be 19th to 2359 hours. Simple.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All of you agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Very good. Now let's come to Snehal. Snehal crosses this line, and now follow the wristwatch of Snehal. She is at the moment showing you the time of 20th June 2359. The moment you cross this Snehal, what will be the time and date in your watch?
21st, 0001.
21st 0001. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So now this flat map I've joined into a cylinder, On one side is Snehal and on the other side is Vasudev, correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Geographically, both of you are on the same point,
Yes, sir.
but
Yes,
your
sir.
dates are different.
Yes.
Time is same, but your dates are different.
Yes.
You agree with this?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Super. So we are talking about, let's revise once again quickly. We started, okay, इसको निकाल ही देता हूँ मैं.
Sir, sir,
हाँ जी बोलो.
Vasudev, when he is going towards this international date line, his date is changing. He is increasing. No, he is advancing the day.
करते हैं एडवांस में. अभी घड़ी को एडवांस नहीं किया ना, अभी रिस्ट वॉच को फॉलो कर रहे हैं ना अभी. ओहो.
No, you are saying no. We are going to 19th. We are not going to 19th. We are going to 21st.
Okay, who is this? Second year, is it?
This is Karanjit.
Karanjit. Okay, Karanjit. Okay, let's quickly revise what we are saying. We are on 20th June. All of you agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good. We started with Om,
Yes,
who
sir.
is at noon time.
Yes.
On sitting on the prime meridian, which passes through Greenwich, which is in London and UK. Simple.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
When we go to the extreme right, that is Snell. So on 20th, when Om is showing noon time, Snell is going to show 28 2359.
Yes.
Very simple.
Yes, sir.
When Snell will cross this line and follow her wristwatch, what
It
the
would be
wristwatch is supposed to show?
21st 001.
21st 0001. Yes or no? Karanjit, do you agree with this?
Yes, sir.
एडवांस एंड रिटार्ड के बाद में करेंगे, अभी के लिए सिर्फ रिस्ट वॉच को फॉलो करते हैं.
Yes, sir.
करण, यू ओके विद दिस?
All right.
Okay, chalo, good. So basically, when we cross this imaginary line, Snell's watch is going to show 21st 0001, and if we move towards west, Vasudev is standing here, and this is another imaginary line. Now, if we join this particular map into a cylinder, Vasudev at the moment is showing 0001 on 28th. And the moment Vasudev crosses this, he's going to come on 2359
Of
and
19.
one day behind.
Of 19.
Correct?
Yeah, one day
So he's
behind.
on 19. Now, if we join the map into a cylinder, basically Snehal and Vasudev are standing at the same point. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
With two different dates respect to your wristwatches, not respect to the zone of that or time of
Okay.
that location I'm saying. Good. So basically what I'm trying to convey here is, as Karanjit rightly said, but उसने एक step आगे का बता दिया. Whenever you are moving eastwards from Greenwich Mean Time or Prime Meridian, when you are moving eastwards, every 15 degrees, which is equivalent to one time zone,
One time
you
zone.
advance your clock by 1 hour. And the moment you touch this imaginary line, which is 180 degrees away from prime meridian or GMT,
It is different.
okay, you
Different days.
basically retard the day by 1.
Yeah.
Time will remain the same. आपको एक दिन पीछे
Yes,
करना
sir.
है, all right?
Yes,
So
sir.
instead of going to 21st, Snell will retard by 1 day. So she will continue as 28 June, but the time is 0001. Clear, Snell?
Yes, sir.
And as we are moving westwards from Om towards Vasudev, let's say Vasudev is moving up to here, he has reached up to 20th 0001. The moment he crosses this imaginary line, he has to advance the date by 1 day. Is it
Nine.
clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Tabhi Snehal and Vasudev will read the same day and same time. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Very good.
Yes.
So this
Yes, sir.
vertical imaginary line, which passes through Greenwich, which is in London City, which is in United Kingdom, is known as prime meridian or Greenwich meridian, and the time over is known as GMT.
Yes.
That's your GMT. In today's time, it is known as Coordinated Universal Time, UTC.
UTC.
Okay, coordinated universal time. Have you understood this concept?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we have prime meridian, and when we join these two lines, okay, this particular line, when we join it into cylinder, this point as well as this point will be at the same location, and that particular line is known as international date line. All of you write down international date line. Okay, Karan, are we going okay?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Okay, now let's quickly go through this. Let me remove all the drawings. Super.
देखा तो नहीं मैं
Okay. Concept of times. All right. So, okay, Akshit, can you read? Can you start reading this first one for the class? Concepts of time zones.
Yes, sir. A time zone is a region of the globe that observes a uniform standard time for legal, commercial, and social purpose.
Yeah, next one.
The time kept by a clock at 0-degree latitude is called as GMT, that is Greenwich Mean Time, or UTC,
Greenwich Mean Time, correct, or
UTC,
Coordinated Universal
Coordinated Universal Time.
Okay.
One of the consequences of the Earth's rotational is the existence of the hours of the day.
Okay, super. Okay. Okay, Karanjit, can we read this? Please read this for the class.
So the time zones are divided by dividing 360 degrees of a earthly sphere into 24 hours of a day. As a result, each time zone corresponds to 15 degrees of the Earth's circumference and is equivalent to 1 hour.
Okay, all of you understood this concept? Every 15 degrees is equivalent or corresponds to 1 hour of time. Okay, clear? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, continue, Karan.
Okay, so when the sun is at position 1,
That is
that
here, yes.
at 0-degree longitude, it is noon. At 180-degree longitude, it is midnight. And at 090 east, it is 1800 hours. And at 090 west, it is 60600 hours.
Okay, so basically that vertical map which we were seeing, all right, okay, if we go on the north tip or the north pole of the Earth, then how it will view, let me just show you that. Take a minute. Much easier in the classroom. Okay, never mind. Okay, so that is the tip. Just a moment, let me use some other color. Okay, can you see the tip? That is the tip. All right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Not.
Now,
Yes, sir.
that is the prime meridian starting from North Pole going towards. So basically, you are viewing the Earth from top as a sphere, not a horizontal chart or map. Okay. So that's your prime meridian, which is GMT. Okay. That's your GMT. Now, when you are moving from Om towards Nehal eastwards, every 15 degrees, you are increasing the time by 1 hour till you reach the midnight. That's what we did in the previous map, correct? And same way, as we are moving from Om towards Nehal, we are decreasing by 1 hour. Yes or no? Till we reach the meridian or longitude, which is 180 degrees opposite of prime meridian or GMT, correct or no? Very good. The moment you cross, okay, one is moving westwards, one is moving eastwards. The only thing is, whenever you cross the international date line eastwards, you retard by 1 day. And whenever you cross the international date line westwards, you advance by 1 day. Very simple. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Super. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं अभी. I'm glad that you picked it up so fast, especially online. ठीक है. All right, next. Okay, I'm sorry. I think आप सब लोग का नाम मुझे नहीं दिख रहा है. So normally in the classroom, I prefer to interact with as many of you as possible. But here I can see only 4-5 faces. So basically, I'm interacting with only those faces. Okay, anyone would like to read this? Any person who has not so far contributed?
So can I read?
Yeah, who is this?
Okay. So Mohammed Sharif.
Okay, Mohammad Sharif. All right, please read this for the class. Prime meridian.
Prime meridian. A prime meridian based at the Royal Observatory, Greenwich in London, England, was established by Sir George Airy in 1851.
Correct. So Mohammed, the W in Greenwich is silent, so we call it as Greenwich. Okay,
Greenwich.
it's a small
Greenwich.
place in London, which is the capital of UK, based in England. Okay, so the one which is the imaginary vertical line which passes through Greenwich is called as prime meridian, and from there the GMT starts. Okay, that is the zero or reference time, vertical reference time. Yeah, continue with the second line, second point.
The 0 degree longitude line or the prime meridian passes through Greenwich. It was chosen as a lot of world sea charts were being drawn up in England at that time.
Okay, I mean basically since they imagine that the shipping started from their location, ठीक है वो credit हम दे देते हैं. Okay, otherwise अगर इंडिया से शुरू करते तो शायद मुंबई या नागपुर या कलकत्ता would have been the GMT, but that's okay. अभी हो गया सो हो गया, कोई बात नहीं. All right, let's move to the next one. I will need one more volunteer to read the next. Yeah, anyone who has not contributed so far.
Yes, I can.
What's your name?
Parthiv.
Parthiv. Okay, Parthiv. Please read this for the class.
So Parth.
Okay, Parth. चलो कोई बात नहीं. Parth.
Coordinated Universal Time. Coordinated Universal Time, abbreviated to UTC, is the primary time standard by which the world regulates the clock and time. The first Coordinated Universal Time, UTC, was informally adopted on 1st of January 1960, but officially adopted in 1967. The westernmost time zone uses UTC 12, being 12 hours
UTC
behind
minus
the UTC.
12. It is UTC minus 12 because when you are going westwards, you are doing GMT minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, right? So when you reach 180 degrees away from GMT or prime meridian, it is UTC minus 12. Is that clear, Parth?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
UTC
good.
minus 12.
Continue.
Being
Minus
12
12.
hours beyond the UTC. The easternmost time zone theoretically uses UTC plus 12, being 12 hours ahead of UTC.
Super.
The definition for time zones can be written in short form as UTC plus or minus N or GMT plus or minus N, where N is the offset in hours.
Correct.
These examples give the local time at various locations at 12 o'clock UTC when daylight saving time or summer time, etc.
Super. Thank you, Parth.
Well,
oops, what happened? Am I audible and visible?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Connection क्यों चला गया? Oh,
So we can hear you, sir.
yeah, I know, but I don't know why. What happened?
While even the disturbance is also gone.
Yeah, but I think they are not able to share anything due to network.
Just a moment.
What do you
Just a
do?
moment.
Sir, close the sharing and start sharing again.
अच्छा वैसे करूँ ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
मुझे एक क्लास आपसे इरफान अलग से लेना पड़ेगा. How to do this IT related stuff, okay?
Anytime, sir. Anytime.
बोलता तो है आप. ठीक है, एक मिनट. All right, so let me share once again. नहीं, the concept is very important. You know, इरफान, ये concept जब तक पूरी तरह से sink in नहीं होगा ना तो difficult होगा थोड़ा. Okay, you can see now the screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
एक minute. Okay, all right. So we were with whom? Parth, right? Okay. ठीक है. So Parth, we did this. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Roxanne, would you like to? Okay. Anyone else
Yes,
who has
sir.
not contributed as many as possible? एक minute, Roxanne. और कोई है तो देखते हैं volunteer.
Again, this is Sagar.
So I can
Your
do
name
that.
is
Sagar.
Sagar. Okay, Sagar. Very good. चलो ठीक है. सागर के ऊपर ही बात चल रही है अब से. Water transport is on Sagar only, right?
Yeah.
तो कहाँ थे आप सागर इतने टाइम से? चलो ठीक है, पढ़िए इसको भी.
Greenwich Mean Time is the mean solar time at the Royal Observatory in Greenwich, London. GMT was formerly used at the International Civil Time Standard, now superseded in that function by Coordinated Universal Time (UTC).
Right.
The term GMT is especially used by bodies connected with the United Kingdom, such as the BBC World Service, the Royal Navy.
So when we are talking about UK related services like British Broadcasting Center or Royal Navy,
Vijay.
then in that case it is called as GMT. Okay, and in shipping, of course, we seafarers we use GMT as the reference point to inform the back office or anybody in the world that okay, I am in the time zone of GMT plus so and so or GMT minus so and so. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Okay. All right. Next one. Who would like to take that?
So shall I?
So can I?
Yeah. Go ahead. Who is this? Any one of you? I think there was one gentleman and one lady. Anyone can take this.
So this is Akhil.
Akhil. Okay, Akhil. Go ahead.
Yeah. The time kept by a clock at 0 degree long is called Greenwich Mean Time or GMT.
Yeah, Akhil. Let me quickly explain one important point. Okay, so that it is easy for everyone to understand. Just a moment. Okay. All of you can see this, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
एक मिनट इसको थोड़ा डार्क कर देता हूँ. Why is it not showing? Yeah. Why am I not in a position to draw a line, Irfan?
Sir, just select annotation lines.
हाँ,
Maybe
वही तो select किया.
the color is getting merged. Maybe select a different color. Yellow.
चार तो select कर चुका हूँ already. एक minute. No, it's not coming on the screen.
Sir, we can
Okay, never mind.
understand. We can understand.
All right, if you can understand, super. Okay, so can you see this GMT plus 0?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very good. So GMT is Greenwich Mean Time, which is on the prime meridian or the 0 degree longitude or the reference, which is imaginary vertical line. Okay, great. Which divides the Earth into Eastern Hemisphere and Western Hemisphere. Now, as far as GMT is concerned, okay, we saw that 15 degrees is equivalent to 1 hour, correct? One time zone.
Yes, sir. Yes.
As far as GMT is concerned, exactly जो center से जा रहा है line, उसके 7.5 degrees on east and 7.5 degrees on west. This total is 15 degrees. You all agree?
Yes, sir.
7.5 15 हो गया? Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
this basically is your first or zero time zone. The next time zone over here is GMT plus 1, and on the west, the next time zone after 7.5 hours on left of GMT is GMT minus 1. Clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, super. Now you can read. Yeah, please continue.
Yes, sir. The times of two places 15 degrees apart will be different by 1 hour.
Correct.
Hence, the world is divided into time zones of 15 degrees width. The first or GMT zone is centered over 0 degree longitude, so it is from 7.5 degree west to 7.5 degree east.
The
Correct.
1 hour zone from 7.5 degree to 22.5 degree. Then the 2 hour zone is from 22.5 degree to 37.5 degree, and so on. Using the Greenwich meridian as a reference, a clock is set forward 1 hour for each time zone to the east and set back 1 hour for each time zone to the west.
Very good. Thank you. Let's go to the next. I'm sure all of you have understood so much, right? So far,
Yes,
so
sir.
good?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So this is the original map which we saw. So basically what we did is 360 degrees, दुनिया गोल होती है, 360 degrees is equivalent to, circle is equivalent to 360 degrees. One rotation of the earth around herself is 24 hours. So if 360 degrees take 24 hours, in 1 hour, it basically revolves by 15 degrees. So that's why we have basically nominated 15 degrees as one time zone. Now,
Okay.
we have to use some reference. The vertical reference which you use is the prime meridian or Greenwich Mean Time. From there, eastwards is plus, westwards is minus. The moment you go exactly 180 degrees away or opposite of prime meridian or GMT, that line, imaginary line, is known as international date line. Eastwards अगर आप जा रहे हो तो you are adding 1 hour after every 15 degrees. If you are going westwards, you are subtracting 1 hour for every 15 degrees. The moment you touch international dateline, as Snehal and Om were doing, Snehal and whoever, Om was there. The moment you cross the international dateline, in order to take care of the confusion of the date, the one moving eastwards, Snehal is moving eastwards, she has to retard by 1 day, and Om who is moving westwards has to advance by 1 day. Clear to all of you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's take few examples. Snehal, the
Yes,
left
sir.
hand side question is for you. You can
If it
see X
is,
and Y there.
yes, sir.
Okay, so this particular box is one time zone. One time zone is here. Then okay, इसमें annotation use करता हूँ मैं. So easy for just a moment. Give me a sec. Is something wrong?
Sir, select a
Irfan?
thicker line. Thicker line. This is a very thin line. Select the second one, which is much thicker than the first one.
Yeah, but
And
in that also it's not coming. Just a moment. Okay, let me
select
clear
color.
the.
Go to format and select a color.
Yeah, which one you want me to select? Chalo, tell me which one. Lucky color for you.
The red color.
Okay.
ठीक है, red select कर दिया. No, still not coming.
Click the mouse right button, right or left button. It depends on the mouse.
नहीं,
press continuously. No, it's still
yeah,
not
of course
happening.
I'm doing that. Just a moment. Let me use the spotlight then. No, even spotlight is not coming here. Okay. Sorry, I'll have to use the mouse only. Okay, Snehal, you can see X location and Y location, correct?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can I ask a
Okay,
question?
so एक मिनट पहले इसको कर लेते हैं. Okay, what is the question?
Okay, sir. Question हो जाने दीजिए.
Okay, all right, Snehal.
Yes,
Read
sir.
the question on top over here. Yeah.
If it is 9 p.m. at location X, what time is it at location Y?
Correct. So 9 p.m. or if we have to, 1 minute, let her answer. If you have to use 24 hours of clock, 9 p.m. is equivalent to how much, Snehal?
9 p.m. If it is 9 p.m. at location X, what is the time at the location? Meridian is at
2100 hours.
2100 hours.
yes.
1 minute.
21.
Okay. 12 o'clock is 12 in your wristwatch, correct?
Yes, sir.
If you are using a dial of 12 hours, then it is 00 from midnight to 12, and again the PM starts, right? You have AM 12 hours and PM 12 hours. Yes or no?
Yes.
Correct. Now, if you use instead of 12 hours, if you use a dial of 24 hours, then what will happen is you will have 12 hours on one side and you will have 12 hours on another side. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Total 24 हो गए?
Yes.
हाँ, तो 0 से 12 मतलब 12 plus 9 आगे हो गए, मतलब कितने हुए total? 12 plus 9?
21. 21, sir.
21. So at location X, if it is 9 p.m., if you are using a dial of 24 hours, it is equivalent to 2100 hours, correct?
Okay, like that.
All right. So at X location, you have 2100 hours time or 9 p.m. And let's move to, this is one time zone of X. You have one more time zone over here, correct, Snell?
Yes, sir.
So the moment X moves from here to the next time zone, how much will be the time?
Plus 15. Like 21.
1 hour
22.
plus
22
Yes.
hours.
22,
hours.
10 p.m. or
22.
2200 hours.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
10 p.m.
If we move to the next one, how much will it be?
11
23.
p.m.
23 or 11 p.m. Correct?
Yes.
Yes,
sir.
Next one will be 24 or midnight.
24. Yes.
And when you reach at Y, where is that? Okay, when you reach at Y, what will happen
Retard
is
by 1 day.
you're not retarding. There is no international deadline. I'm just telling
1
you from
a.m.
9 p.m. you're going towards Y. So the moment you go towards
1
Y,
1 a.m.
okay, there's no international deadline or there's no prime meridian here. We are just doing a simple calculation. So X plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So 9 p.m. plus 4 is 0100 hours, right?
0100.
Midnight के
Yes,
बाद
sir.
एक बजता है कि नहीं?
Right.
So you change the date and then you are at 1 o'clock in the
1.
morning at Y. Understood, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Saket. Okay, Saket, you can take this question. Read this please for the class.
If it is 10 a.m. at location T, what time is it at location R?
Correct. So you can see T here, Saket, and we have to go slowly because many people may not understand if you move too fast. Okay, Saket?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you are at
1800 hours.
location. You are at
So if I
location
am
T or
if
Tango.
I'm at
Yeah.
location
So
T,
let's go backwards. Yeah.
yeah,
So Saket, what is the answer? If it is 10 here, what will be here?
it will be 20 minus 1,
That is 9 a.m.
9 a.m. minus
9
2.
a.m. sir.
Okay, so
So
10
2 a.m. I
then
think total.
9. This will be how much?
It's a 2 a.m. 0200 hours. 2 a.m.
एक मिनट साकेत अभी चल रही है ना गाड़ी हो घाई क्यों कर रहे हो साकेत तो मेरे साथ है तो I have nothing to worry. All right, so Saket, we are at 10 a.m. at T, right?
Minus 1, it will be
9, 8. This will
7,
be how much? 7.
6, 5, 4,
6,
3.
5, 4, 3, 2.
So when you reach at R, Romeo, it is going to be 0200 hours or 2 a.m.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
आप 8 घंटा पीछे आ गए. You're moving westwards. Simple.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
So in the left example, Snehal moved from X to Y, which is eastwards. So that's why we are adding 1 hour. And in diagram right, Saket moved from location T to location R, that is westward. So एक घंटा एक time zone में पीछे करता गया. And from 10 o'clock in the morning, we have reached 2 o'clock in the morning. Very simple.
Yes, sir.
Remember one thing.
Yes,
When we are moving, whether Snehal is moving or Saket is moving, we are assuming that the earth is stationary. अगर अर्थ भी घूमेगी तो गड़बड़ हो जाएगी, इसलिए हमने कहा क्या अर्थ को अभी रुक जा तो थोड़े टाइम के लिए. वैसे ही पता नहीं चल रहा है टाइम जोन का तो घूमना मत, रुक जा थोड़े टाइम के लिए. अभी साकेत यू हैव अंडरस्टूड T2R आते आते क्या हुआ 10 से 2 बज गए. ओके साकेत, हैव यू अंडरस्टूड?
Yes, sir.
ओके सुपर. चलो हाँ, अभी someone had a question. Go ahead please. You have to tell me your name and then the question.
Sir, I only had the question.
अच्छा साकेत का ही था. ओके चलो, I'm lucky. We saved some time.
Sir, sir, actually the slide moved a little faster. So, sir, is UTC and GMT the same or there is a difference?
See, basically, Arabian Gulf and Persian Gulf is same.
Yeah.
अभी पता नहीं सर.
Yeah.
सर
मैं कभी गया नहीं है. लालबाग परेल बोलेगा तो समझ सकता है. पर्शियन गल्फ and Arabian Gulf. If you look at it from Arabian, okay, who is from Bahrain? The lady from Bahrain, can you just switch on your mic and speak to me? No, she's probably, I don't know where she is. Okay, so basically, if you look at the sea from Arabian countries' point of view, that means if you are looking at it from, let's say, Iraq point of view, or Saudi point of view, or Bahrain point of view, or UAE point of view, they call it as Arabian Gulf. But Persia is the ex-name of Iran.
Okay.
Parsi naam suna hai? Sakil? Very good. So they came from Persia basically to India. Way back.
Yes, sir.
Right? And now they are residents of India, right? They are part of us and we are part of them. So basically Persia, which is the ex-name of Iran, and if you look at it, look at the same sea from Iran point of view, it is called as Persian Gulf.
Okay.
समझ में आया? Okay. अभी आपका क्वेश्चन क्या है? GMT और UTC सेम है क्या? If you look at it from UK point of view, it is Greenwich Mean Time. If you look at it from seafarers point of view, like me and the second engineer in the class, it is GMT. GMT plus or GMT minus. But yes, but there are certain, what should I say, platforms, okay? Certain certain institutions call it as Universal Coordinated Time, UTC. Basically it's the same, starting from GMT or prime meridian. Clear to you? Your question is answered, Saket?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Chalo, super.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Let's move on. Okay.
So,
Now
Mahesh,
we will quickly do one more concept. Irfan, I will have to go up to 1:30.
1:30, sir. Can you wind up at least 1?
नहीं, मुझे उनको चलो जल्दी कर लेते, ठीक है.
Yeah.
Okay, otherwise what we will do, we'll keep this for the next time. Okay, I will unshare the screen. So, okay, is Om there in the class? I will stop this. कोई तो ऑन करो अपना माइक.
Hello, Captain Saab. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Sir, I'm speaking from Guatemala. Right now, I'm on board vessel. Somehow I got this internet and I tried to join your class, but
That's okay.
the video
that's
quality
okay. You will get the
I'm not
recordings
getting
later.
properly.
No problems. You will get the recording. You can go through that. Okay, now let's continue.
Thank you, sir.
Om, Vasudev, anybody there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm there, sir.
Okay, one of you quickly tell me what all we did after this break. We spoke about.
Sir, 1 minute. Yes, sir. We spoke about the time zone.
Okay.
Which is the west to east, the entire world.
Okay.
Horizontally placed, revolves. That is for my reference. Sorry. So it's like Greenwich. Greenwich is a small town close to United Kingdom. Okay.
Close to London, which is in United Kingdom. Good.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And then we spoke about the spin.
Okay. Super.
Vertical.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm so sorry. So it's a vertical reference that we use, like imaginary line 1, and horizontal reference also is used as a reference 2.
Yes.
And then we have the coordinate universal time UTC, prime meridian, and the Western hemisphere is -1, if I'm right, as per the time.
When you are moving eastwards, you advance the clock by 1 hour every 15 degrees. When you are moving westwards, you retard the clock by 1 hour every 15 degrees. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, till you reach 180 degrees opposite of prime meridian, which is also known as international date line. When you are crossing international date line eastwards, you retard the date by 1 day. When you are crossing international date line westwards, you advance the date by 1 day. Simple?
1 day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So is the day, sir? If we are in 20, if we are going westwards, then it will be 21.
Okay. I think we are running short of time now. Let's see if we have time. Otherwise, I think there is a a WhatsApp group formed in this class, so maybe you
Yes,
can
sir.
take help of others. Because अगर मैं explain करते रहूँगा, it's a concept, you know. That's why I was telling you pay a lot of attention. But that's okay. It can happen sometimes. But now, basically, what I want is, let me close this for you.
इवन
और
बाकी डिस्चार्ज का क्या है, मतलब जो अदर पार्सल में है उसका ये डीएल के अगेंस्ट हो रहा है क्या?
just a minute. Okay.
Okay, you got the deal. ठीक है. Just wait for these two parcels.
Okay. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me share the screen with you one more last time before we close for today. Okay. Our next lecture, I think, is on 21st July, if I'm not wrong. Okay. So for that, let me share this. What I expect you guys to do is, first of all, of course, revise, read the lesson 1, 2, 3, and 4.
आपका फेवरेट है हम ना?
Okay, so read the lesson 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. So in lesson 1, we talked about why shipping, why Narottam Morarji Institute. Second one, we spoke about types of ships, right? The importance of shipping. And of course, then we did about time zones. Okay.
Time zones.
Time zones हमने देखा, prime meridian, GMT हमने देखी, and then we also saw international date line. Clear? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Why I gave you this portion is because I want you to study. There's a huge gap of 1 month till we meet next time. And
Yes,
for
sir.
the next class, what I suggest is, or not what I suggest, what I need is, because we will be straightway starting with map work. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Let me.
Sir,
Okay.
can we get the PPT of this?
No, the PPT is only for reference purpose to show you and to explain to you the concept. Okay. Basically, you have to read the book. You will have to, because from the exam point of view, more important is you read the portion. Okay. Only reading the or listening to the recording, you're not going to get anything in the question papers, because we will see it's too early. It's the first lecture. Can you see the map on the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for the next time, I want you, all of you, to get this map from stationery, this type of any world map
The
will
map
do,
of continents.
map of the world.
Okay, sir.
Okay. I want you to get at least 5 to 6 copies of map of the world. The bigger the map, the better map work we can do.
Okay, sir.
All
The
right.
plain one, or or with names.
Preferably plain one is better, because we will be doing all the basic map work first, just to get you tuned to the map work. And because why I'm doing this from the second lecture itself is, from the exam point of view of geography, and not only from exam point of view but your profession point of view, when you're going to be in shipping profession, uh, your geography has to be really good. Okay. And it will only come with practice. There is no substitute to practice, unfortunately. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Like I'll just throw some names. 1 minute, huh? 1 minute, let me just okay. So looking at this, hopefully you will know. Just a moment. We will play this better. Just give me a second. Okay. All right. So basically, all of you, next time what we're going to do is we will be starting with straits, channels, and canals. Okay. What is naturally available and what is man-made. And then we are going to mark this number 1. Can you see this, Nehal? Number 1, number 2, number 3, right?
Yes, sir.
Number 4.
Yes, sir.
And we are going to write there what is the
Oh.
name of the strait, number 2 strait, what is the name of that number 4 strait. And whenever we are writing that number 4 strait name, for example, this number 4, I'll give you an idea. Okay, just this is, we are on Bosporus. Let me select a simple one for you. Okay, I'll select this one for you. Okay. So if why I'm saying for a bigger map, A3 size or even bigger is better. Newspaper size is perfect if you can get hold of that. अगर आप चार portions को join करती हो, that will be perfect. If you want small map, you're not going to get anything, because like for example this particular one, okay, this is for the entire class. Let's say we want to talk about Malacca Strait or Malacca Strait. We did post Malacca Max, right?
Yes.
The container ship,
Yes.
we read the term post Malacca. So that's your Malacca Strait. You can see India over here.
Yes, sir.
On the east of India, there is Bay of Bengal. That's your Indian Ocean. And as we are moving eastwards from India towards a place called Singapore. Have you heard his name, Singapore, before?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes,
If
sir.
India is GMT plus 5.5, then Singapore is GMT plus 8. So now it is 1:30 in India. Singapore is 2.5 hours ahead of us. So Singapore में कितना बजा होगा Roxanne? 1:30 plus 2.5. You have to unmute your mic.
4 o'clock. 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, sir.
4 p.m.
4 p.m.
If you are using 4 p.m. correct. If you are using 12-hour dial, it is 4 p.m. If you are using 24 hours dial, it is 1600 hours. Very simple.
Yes, sir.
Or the person in Singapore wants to tell Saket that I am in Singapore, then he's going to say that I am in Singapore and my time zone is GMT plus 8. Clear? Okay. So मैं आपको basically क्या कह रहा हूँ, why we should have more bigger maps for the next class is we are going to write Malaysia, we are going to write Indonesia, and we are going to write Malacca Strait, which is your strait number 6. And similarly, Snehal will be doing 1, 2, 3, about 10 of them in one map. So the bigger the map, better it is. You agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So get the biggest available world map in the stationery. Okay. Preferably without any names, because I want you to write, and we will be doing the writing part also of the continents. Like we will write Asia, we'll write Europe, we'll write Africa, we'll write Australia. Similarly, we will also write about the oceans. एक minute, oceans भी दिखा देता हूँ आपको. Can you see the oceans here?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes,
So we're
sir.
going to write Pacific Ocean, we're going to write North Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean. Okay. So basically, if you have the bigger map, it is better for you, for better understanding. And these maps will be very helpful to you when we will actually do practice. Huge amount of map work is there. And why we emphasize, or especially I emphasize on map work, is because there are 2 questions of 20 marks each out of 100. And 50 is passing. इसे ज़्यादा मैं क्लू नहीं दे सकता. Okay?
Okay.
All right. I think it's 1:30 before
Exceeded
Irfan rings the
1:30.
bell. Okay, so thank you very much, all of you. It was
Thank
been
you
a
so much,
pleasure
sir.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hope you enjoyed those who found my because there were few disturbances.
Thank you, sir.
And sometimes I have to kind of stop you. Okay, यहाँ पे आप रुकते हैं.